From Grace P. Johnson Stadium here in Pembroke, North Carolina, UNCP football is back. Today, it's Rod Tinsley and the Winston-Salem State University Rams facing off against Dominic Sampson and your University of North Carolina at Pembroke Braves for Week 1 of the 2017 season. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the Braves Media Network from Grace P. Johnson Stadium. I'm Matt Sabatis, looking forward to joining you throughout the 2017 year. Last year, a historic season for the Braves, a 10-2 record, making it all the way to the second round of the NCAA playoffs, unfortunately falling to the eventual national runners-up, the University of Northern Alabama, in a game that ended 41-17. This week will be test 1 of 10 to see if the Braves can duplicate that same performance from the year prior. Plenty to get to as we get rolling here on the Sodexo pregame show on the Braves Media Network. First thing we're going to do, though, is get down to our man on the sidelines, Trevor Williams. He took the opportunity to sit down with head coach Shane Richardson, and we'll have to see what he has to say with the head coach. Trevor, how are things going?
Thanks, guys. We're down here field level with the head coach of the Braves, Shane Richardson. Coach, here it is, game day finally against Winston-Salem State. How excited are you to take the field?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, this is what we do 365 days a year, and we get 10 opportunities to go out there and show what we've worked hard for. And I told the team last night that you want to really seize the moment of these and take them very serious. And I think they're ready to play today, so it'll be exciting.
And today you guys are playing for more than just yourselves, fallen heroes being honored on Military Appreciation Night. How big of a deal is that, you think, for the guys, not only to have the excited energy of Game 1, but also to play for somebody else? It's not just the Braves' name on their uniform.
Yeah, I think it's great. We talk a lot about military-type themes, and we actually have people from the military come in and work with us and try to help train us. They're very much in tune to just being respectful for military and understanding what a great sacrifice they make for our country. And I think with the 4 fallen soldiers today that we're honoring, that's very, very special. So our guys are fired up for that.
You mentioned about a week ago that you were going to be happy with whichever starting quarterback you guys put out there. Dominic Sampson in this game for you guys, a redshirt freshman. How do you kind of mitigate the nerves a little bit for a guy making his first college start?
Yeah, I think what it is you've got to just coach him to calmness and making sure that you just keep things that are very simple for him, and making sure that you don't lose him in the moment. And I told the whole team, and we've got a lot of young players right now that'll be going into their first game, and I told them, just stick to what we've trained and what we've talked about, what we've coached you to do. Stay in the moment. Don't let the fans, don't let the lights, don't let the red color on the opposing uniforms get you out of whack and not do your job. And so I think at the end of the day, you just got to focus on your job one play at a time. And I think that's what we've got to do with Dom today, is just to settle him down and make sure that he feels comfortable and calm. And I think he'll be ready for the challenge.
Is there a biggest key you see in this game against Winston-Salem State if you guys are going to come out on top at the end of week 1?
Well, I think for our team, we want to focus on what we do and doing it at the highest level possible for 4 quarters. I think the way we train, the way we prepare, it is to our advantage if it's close in the 4th quarter, in my opinion. And so I really feel comfortable with our team in the 4th quarter in terms of, I think Winston's going to be prepared too. And, we respect them, and they're going to come in here ready for us, obviously, with the result of the last 2 years. And, I think our guys, if we can just stick to our process, believe in it for 4 quarters, and really be able to put the hammer down in the 4th quarter, I think it gives us an advantage.
All right, Coach, we'll let you get out there to Brave Nation. Good luck against the Rams.
Great. Thanks, Trevor.
That was head coach Shane Richardson. Guys, back to you in the booth.
Thank you, Trevor. Really appreciate that time you took with head coach Shane Richardson. Now I welcome in my color commentator, Josh Reed. Josh, you had the opportunity to sit down with offensive lineman Jared Johnson the other day for a piece in the Pine Needle, the paper here at UNCP. Why don't you tell me about that? What was his insight for today's game?
Well, honestly, he was telling me how this year's offensive line is really young. They have the whole right side of the offensive line is freshmen, and starting left tackle is a returning sophomore. And what he basically told me was, this is going to be a real litmus test for their, how the season's going to play out, because all the experience on really all long offensive line aside from himself. he's the only returning starter from last year, so we'll see.
When you talk about returning starters, that's going to be a key point throughout not only this game, but potentially through the rest of the season for these Braves. Only 4 seniors on both sides of the ball are returning for this team. Alpha Lamine is one of them. The other 2, or the other 3, I should say, are Khalil Vance at the defensive line, and then a couple more on the offensive side of things. You've already mentioned how you've got a weak offensive line. I shouldn't say weak, a young and
Inexperienced.
could be slightly inexperienced offensive line. We can look at the starting lineups once the game gets underway, but that's going to be a big issue, and that's something I've noticed already from the Winston-Salem State University Rams, is that they've got experience. They've got some young talent, they've got some fresh talent, but they've also got a bevy of seniors on their starting lineup, and that'll be the biggest piece of adversity for the Braves to overcome in today's game.
Yeah, I was just looking over their starting defense right now, and I see nothing but upperclassmen, juniors, and seniors all throughout. They may have like one starter on defense.
Looking at the starting lineup for the defensive side in Winston-Salem State, you see a sophomore on the defensive end. That's Justice Smith. He did an excellent job last season. Jack Nimmons, Tyron Roberts, and Jarrell Bright, a trio of juniors, each contributing in the backfield as well. Jarrell Bright is going to be the key player to watch on that defensive line. 12 sacks last season, contributing along with 40 tackles. This is a defense in Winston-Salem State that was second in the CIAA in points per game allowed. Only 22.3 points per game as they found their way into the NCAA playoffs as well, falling in the first game against Long Island University, a heartbreaker, 48-41, after winning the CIAA championship game against Bowie State in the middle of November last season, 43-33. Both of these teams have something to prove. That's the biggest test into this one. It's week 1 after both teams made the NCAA playoffs. They're both coming out hungry, and they both have something to prove that they can each replicate last season's performance.
I completely agree, but in a sense, I believe that the Pembroke offense especially has more to prove based on their inexperience on the offensive line especially.
Let's go ahead and take our first break of the Sodexo pregame show. Just about 10 minutes left to go until we get underway here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium between the Braves and the Winston-Salem State University Rams. It's Military Appreciation Night for kickoff, and you don't want to miss anything as we keep it going. Be sure to stick around right here on the Braves Media Network. We've got UNCP football coming up.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke. I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke fast.
The University of North Carolina at Pembroke was founded in 1887 by American Indians to provide education to the local community to ensure a pathway to success. Today, we're part of the world-renowned University of North Carolina system, but the spirit of our founding still guides us. Our strong academics are exemplified by standout programs in education, athletic training, business, and nursing, and by students working with professors on groundbreaking research. Explore the brave spirit today.
Beautiful rendition of our national anthem as the UNCP Braves and the Winston-Salem State University Rams are just getting set to get underway. Alongside Josh Reed, I'm Matt Sabatis. As always, we thank you for joining us here on the Braves Media Network. Just about 6.5 minutes left to go until we kick things off here at Grace P. Johnson. And Josh, the excitement, even with the time change, as the clouds are actually starting to clear up. It was a little cloudy about an hour before kickoff, but now we're seeing a good amount of sky. Hopefully some more students can come out because this is starting to dig into their class time. Hopefully it didn't get into any of yours.
Well, yeah, I actually spoke to a bunch of my classmates. A lot of people have classes during this time. We're going to try to get out of class early, try to make at least part of the game. But, yeah, it's a really convenience. A lot of people who stood in line got tickets when the Brave Nation app was giving them out.
As we're coming up on kickoff, about 6 minutes away, let's go ahead and read through the starting lineups for both sides. We'll start offensively with your UNC Pembroke Braves. The front line from left to right, number 67, the sophomore, Derek Barrier. Number 68, the left guard, junior Jared Johnson. And then the trio of redshirt freshmen, the center, Timon McMillan, the right guard, Cameron Hodges, and the right tackle, Gage Baldwin. Your wide receivers, Quay Threat, Jalen Nixon, and JoJo Spann. Your starting quarterback, the redshirt freshman out of Cary, North Carolina, Dominic Sampson. The fullback, Robert Beecham, and the halfback, Miles Grant. Looking defensively at UNC Pembroke, your front line, Alpha Lamine, Khalil Vance, Nathan London, and then the redshirt junior, T.Y. Hinton. A big eye to keep on him this season. 7.5 sacks, led the team last year. At the cornerback position, you've got Michael Clark, the redshirt freshman out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Trayvon Gibson. Your linebackers are Jordan Howard, Colton Weeks, and Amari Bryce Green, while the free safety is Bakembe Kearney, and the strong safety is Josh Mans. The offense for Winston-Salem State University, the front line from left to right. Number 53, the senior Kevin Ward. Number 70, the junior Tim Samuels. Josh Wormley is your center. He wears number 59. Donald Baggett, the right guard out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And Devontae Mackey, number 57, is the right tackle. The wide receivers are Will Walton, the junior from Charlotte. Jalen Barber out of Monroe, North Carolina. And Kennard Brown, the strong senior out of Miami, Florida. Had a good junior year, and he'll look to replicate. The backfield is Carrion Moore and Andre Hodge at the running back and fullback position, respectively. And the tight end is Chris Sharper. The redshirt junior is the starting quarterback. That's number 14, Rod Tinsley. Had a 52% completion rating last year. Hopefully, the Braves can put a little more stop on him, a little more pressure on him in today's game. The front line for the Winston-Salem State defense, as a fantastic event comes flying in now to the 50-yard line. It didn't seem like the weather was going to make it possible, but he got the parachuter in just in time as they provide the game ball at the 50-yard line. Fantastic. The rumbling around the press box was that wasn't going to happen, Josh.
Oh,
and here comes another.
Wow.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Now that really shows you how Military Appreciation Night should be going underway. Finishing off the starting lineup for Winston-Salem. The front line, Justice Smith is a redshirt sophomore defensive end. You've got Jack Nimmons and Tyron Roberts at the front, and Jarrell Bright is the other defensive end. The corners, DeAndre Blevins, the sophomore out of Selma, North Carolina, and Tyrell Fleming, another sophomore out of Newton. The linebackers, Kalen Chavis, Kyrell Williamson, and J-Ron Rankin. Keep an eye out for J-Ron, as a linebacker picked up 3.5 sacks along with 8 tackles for loss last season. Darius Skinner is a safety. Josh Martin is the last safety. 39 tackles and an interception for Martin wearing the number 25. As the Braves take the field with 2:45 remaining here in pregame. Braves wearing their home black jerseys, black pants, with white numbering, white sleeves, and gold trim on the sleeves, accompanied by platoonmen from nearby Fort Bragg for Military Appreciation Night. It should be a heck of a fun time. Captains at midfield, ready for the coin toss. The captains for UNCP this season: Quadrin Williams, the running back. You've also got Alpha Lamine, the defensive end, T.Y. Hinton, the other defensive end, and Chris Plotch, the linebacker, as your four captains for the UNCP Braves this season. Coin toss just now getting underway, as they've got a few special friends down at the 50-yard line honoring fallen military heroes accompanying the captains. As I said, a lot of fun and a lot of great military appreciation going on as things are just getting underway. Let's go ahead and tune in to what they've got going on the field.
For the families of America's fallen military heroes, and has offered support to more than 70,000 surviving family members of our fallen military and their caregivers since 1994. Stay at one to talk, and then let me transfer to the second act. Okay, so this is...
So Winston-Salem wins the coin toss. They defer to the second half, and now the Braves are deciding which they would prefer. Let's see what they go with. Lining up now is the Rams captains are headed over, and the Braves will receive the opening kickoff to start the game. Fresh 15 on the clock as the captains shake hands now. The Winston-Salem State University Rams in their road white jerseys, red helmets with the new Ram logo on the side. Winston-Salem updating their logo just a week ago to a little bit more vicious looking of a Ram, wouldn't you say, Josh?
Yes, sir.
They've got their red road pants on, red numbering on the white jersey, and some bright red socks to go along with the matching white shoes. Now that is a team with some unity right there. Officials converging on top of the Brave head at midfield as special teams units are just getting set underway, and we are just seconds away from the start of the 2017 college football season here at UNC Pembroke. See athletic director Dick Christie pacing down on the sidelines. Head coach Shane Richardson doing so as well. And the players just now getting out onto the field. Back to return for the Braves, the senior JoJo Spann, the sophomore Trayvon Gibson. And just getting ready to head out to the 35-yard line to kick it away will be the freshman for Winston-Salem State University, Daniel Rivera. Danielle Rivera. First game jitters, Josh. You got to get him out of the way.
Yeah, also that's Devin Jones back there returning next to
Devin Jones,
next to JoJo.
really? Yeah, well, first game jitters apply to the communications staff as well. They got to
Yep,
get
maybe they switched it up last minute.
got to get an updated card.
Hopefully JoJo can give him a spark.
Let's see what we have now. Rivera setting the ball up where he likes between the hashes at the 35-yard line. Takes his steps back now. Bright green shoes, the only one on the team not wearing the matching white. He's ready to go. The Braves lined up at the 6-yard line to return this one. Not too much wind here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium. And the football season is underway. Bounces first at the 20-yard line, rolls out of bounds at the 9-yard line. That's not a good way to start a season, no matter what side you're on.
Maybe he should have stuck to the unity with the kicking shoes.
Oh, man. So that'll give the Braves a good boost on where they'll start this first possession. Flag already thrown, ball already set to be placed as the officials are moving their way on up. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Braves at the 34-yard line in their own territory. They're about 10 yards away-ish from midfield. As they're setting up now, Dominic Sampson in his offense. He's got Robert Beecham and Miles Grant setting up in a shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. They look to the sidelines for a play call from head coach Shane Richardson. They've got it, and they're set to go now. Miles Grant lined up in the backfield. Offset is Robert Beecham. The snap given to Grant, rolling out to the far side. Has some good run blocking, finds a hole, but doesn't get too much off of it. As the hole collapses, he only gains at most a yard. Tackle made looks to be by Tyron Roberts, the nose guard for Winston-Salem State.
Yeah, I figured they'd do a lot of running to the left side, being that they have their only veteran offensive lineman on that side.
Braves ranked number 19 in the AFCA preseason poll after topping out at 13 at the end of the postseason last year. We'll have to see if that has any clout in there. Head coach Shane Richardson not one to consider it. Empty backfield with a 5-receiver set. Sampson takes the snap, looks quick to pass, immediately wrapped up as the pocket collapses. He's brought down. That's a sack for Jarrell Bright, the big defensive end out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Had 12 last year, and he's already got 1 this year. 3rd and 10.
That pocket collapsed way too quickly.
Scoreless game, only 1 minute passed here in the first quarter. 3rd and 10 for the Braves, cycling through some of the receivers. Coming on now, Miles Grant set to get back in at a running back position, along with a couple of other receivers. Let's see. Shaman Hicks, a wide receiver, and along with JoJo Spann making his way back out. It's a 4-receiver set, split on each side, 3rd and 10. Low snap, Sampson picks, fakes the hand. It's a draw play given to Grant, and he can't get much. Defensive line smothered him on that one. Tyron Roberts again with the tackle, and that's a 3-and-out to start the season for the Braves.
Yeah, that inexperience right off the side of the offensive line is really showing right now.
Scoreless first quarter, only 13:25 left to go in it. And we've got the first taste now of Isaac Parks, the redshirt freshman out of Greensboro, North Carolina, ready to boot it away. Back to return for the Rams, number 1, Kennard Brown. He had 9 returns last year. Looks like he might not have one right now. Bounced off one of the Rams, it seems, but it looks like Brown won't take it. And it seems as though the officials say no play, and it's down at the spot by the Braves at the 9-yard line. Unfortunate turn there from our angle. It looked to be that the Braves might have had a chance. And there was some rumblings up here in the press box, but it will be 1st and 10 for Winston-Salem State at their own 9-yard line with 13:02 left to go in a scoreless first quarter.
I thought somebody's going to scoop and score that. You think somebody have the eyes on the ball and have the awareness to know that it may have touched somebody.
Would have been a good way to turn around a quick 3-and-out. But now we get our first taste of the Winston-Salem offense, led by the redshirt junior Rod Tinsley out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's under center with a 2-man back set. He hands it off to the far side, pump fakes, and he's looking to pass way downfield for Kennard Brown. He's got it at the 45-yard line under single-man coverage, and that's a huge first down for Winston-Salem State. Rough play for Trayvon Gibson. He wasn't able to make a play.
It's not a very good start for that blackout defense, but hopefully they can pick it up here.
It's all about the speed, and Kennard Brown has it. 27 receptions last year, averaging 14 yards per with 6 touchdowns. The senior out of Miami, Florida, the only senior in this wide receiving core for Winston-Salem State. Straight up I formation now under center. Tinsley hands it off this time. The running back slips through, breaks another tackle, and he's off to the races. To the 15, the 10, the 5, another one through. Trayvon Gibson can't make the tackle, and in for a touchdown is Carry-On Moore. 2 plays later, first possession, and the Winston-Salem State University Rams are on the board.
That's not what you want to see from your first-team defense in this first outing.
A lot of life already sucked out of the home crowd here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium as it's 6-0 with 12:29 left to go here in the first quarter. Brings Daniel Rivera back in to attempt the PAT. Freshman with an opportunity here. The long snapper is Chris Sharper. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up. The kick is good. 7-0. Hard trip incoming for the Braves now. Only 2 defensive plays, and the Winston-Salem State Rams are on the board first. Last season, the Rams, in their 41 trips to the red zone, converted on 31 of those trips. 76% conversion rate. Braves defense being touted coming into this season could have some issues. 12:29 remaining here in the first quarter. Drive of 2 plays, only 91 yards on 2 plays, 33 seconds. Ending the carry and more, scoring run, 40 yards out. .29 left to go here in the first quarter. Braves trailing 7-0 to Winston-Salem State, and Daniel Rivera setting the ball up on the block now just how he likes it in between the hash marks at the 35-yard line. Back to return for the Braves, looks to be JoJo Spann, and once again now, Michael Clark. Rivera set up, has his steps. Spann lined up at the 6-yard line, ready to receive this kickoff. Low one, but plenty of distance, backing up on it. Picking it up just inside the end zone, heading it outside is Devin Jones, as a matter of fact. Sheds one tackle, slips through, he's got some space, but just gets wrapped up at the 24-yard line. That time by the defensive end, Josh Martin. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Braves at their own 25. Good return from the Braves, Devin Jones, but he'll have to respond quickly after the 2-play, 90-yard drive from Winston-Salem State.
Yeah, with this inexperienced offensive line, you're going to want to see a lot of quick hitting plays so that you won't have to give defense time to get to the quarterback.
Sampson set to go in the gun, puts a man in motion, claps it, hands off. It's a quick counter over to the near side. Hit hard and taken down with very minimal gain. That's number 11, Quadrin Williams, the running back. One of the captains for this team. Tried to go in motion on a near side sweep and didn't pan out for him. Only about a 2-yard gain. It's 2nd and 8. 7-0 Braves trail, 11:55 left to go here in the first quarter. 2nd and 8. In the shotgun with Miles Grant is Dominic Sampson. Claps once, has it. The give is to Grant on the far side. No, it's a fake. Near side goes Sampson. Sheds one tackler, but gets tripped up by the laces and slides forward, potentially for a first down. All depends on the spot. They're going to move the chains. Tackle made on that play by number 36, Whitney McLeod, the safety.
It's a good fake out by the quarterback on that option play.
Beautiful handoff there, but it all depends on how the Braves can capitalize on every set of downs following. 1st and 10, defensive line going in motion. Looks to be an extra backer coming from Winston-Salem State as this is a quick handoff to Miles Grant. Met at the line of scrimmage, pushed back immediately for no gain. Jarrell Bright, the defensive end, with the tackle. And the Braves have 2nd and 10. 7-0 Braves trail, 11 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. It's 2nd and 10 as they swap out a couple of wide receivers, going with a 3-man core right now. Tracing across to the other side. Looks to be E.J. Williams in the I formation. Sampson claps, has it, the give to Grant. And he fights through on the left side of the offensive line. Doesn't get much, maybe about 3 yards, but the linebacking core getting in there as a little bit of extracurricular pushing and shoving is making its way through. Kyrell Williamson, the tackle for Winston-Salem State. It's 3rd and 6.
They could open up some holes for Miles Grant this year. He showed some flashes last year of being, he averaged like 6.1 yards a carry last year. So.
Exactly 6.1. 72 carries, 444 yards. His only touchdown, though, in the season came on a reception. Only 10 receptions, 102 yards, but a 14-yard passing play. This one's a passing play. Sampson going deep with it, far side, nearly picked off as the route was misread. JoJo Spann cut back at the 45-yard line, and that one was airmailed to the 43, or rather the 35.
Luckily for Dom, the pass slipped through the defender's hands.
That'll bring out the punting unit once again for the Braves. Isaac Parks will have another shot at it. Back to return is Kennard Brown once again. Didn't have a return his last time around. Parks rolls out, boots a nice spiral. Fair catch signaled by Brown, and he hauls it in at the 21-yard line. 7-0 our score remains.
It's a nice boot for the freshman punter.
Absolutely. Came in this year having to replace a big man in Matt Davis. Did it all for this special teams unit. Field goals, PATs, 10 punts inside the 20 last year, averaging just over 41 yards. That was a punt of 40 yards from Isaac Parks.
Yeah, we actually had a nickname up here for Matt Davis last year, called him Money Matt Davis. He was just as automatic as autocorrect on your phone.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right for Matt Davis. 7:53 left to go in this first quarter. 7-0 Braves trailing, as it's now Winston-Salem State back on offense. Under center is Tinsley. He's got a two-man backfield. He rolls out looking to pass to the right side, pumps and throws on a 6-yard gain. Catch made just at about the 28-yard line before the tackle is made by Michael Clark. Who's the receiver on that one? Looks to be 88, Will Walton. Walton, a heck of a player. Junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. 23 receptions last year.
Hopefully we can see a better showing from this blackout defense this time around.
Tinsley once again under center. Two receivers on the near side, empty on the far side. I formation. He rolls out to the right side. Hands it off to his running back. Met in the backfield, but shaking through the defenders is Carrion Moore. He's off to the races on the right side of the sideline. Cross midfield, cutting back to the 40. Slips another defender. He's still on his feet to the 35, to the 30. He's got 4 men in pursuit. Alpha Lamine finally pulls him down after a massive scramble to the 29-yard line.
It looks like somebody lost contain on the left side of that defense, because there should have been no way. First of all, the tackle was missed, and then there's nobody else coming to get him on that side of the field.
Looked to be about 3 or 4 missed tackles as Carrion Moore made the overall run. 7-0. Only a minute remaining here in the first quarter. It's gone by fast. 1st and 10 for Winston-Salem State at the Braves' 27-yard line. 44-yard rush from Carrion Moore before Alpha Lamine was able to pull him in. I formation once again with Tinsley under center. 2 wide receivers on the far side. Tinsley claps, has it, fakes the handoff, goes to the far side, quickly caught by Kennard Brown. Under pressure, he stiff arms a man, gets taken down after only about a 1-yard gain. Good play on that one from Cameron Williams, the linebacker.
Yeah, you always want to fight those with stiff arms. You never want to be the guy to be on somebody else's highlight reel.
Williams has a little bit of enough muscle behind him. 6-foot sophomore, 195 pounds. He was able to hold on for the tackle. 35 of them last year for the sophomore. Looks to be that Winston-Salem could take this game into the second quarter if they so please, with only 5 seconds remaining, and it looks like they'll do just that. And as the clock expires, they get it off just in time. A handoff to the far side now. Xavier Quick going with it, trying to keep his feet quick as he gets wrapped up and taken down. After only about an 8-yard gain, just shy of the first down marker, looks to be that the tackle was made by Michael Clark. And that'll take us, or wait. Looks like they're having some clock issues. I'm not going blind, am I?
No, you're not.
That clock said 0. Now it says 7:33. So the first quarter continues. I guess that's what happens sometimes when you don't pay too much attention to the clock. We've got a couple of extra people going. Looks like a free play to the far side for Will Walton. He hauls it in. Did he keep a foot? No. They're saying he just had it a little bit outside. There's too much going on right now to keep up with.
Like somebody on the interior jumped off sides.
It is a free play for Winston-Salem State, so they'll get a free set of downs either way, as it was only 3rd and 1. I'm more surprised, marking back, that we're having those sorts of clock issues, as they have officials up here in the press box dedicated specifically to running the clock.
I guess it's first time jitters for everybody.
Yeah. It's understandable. 7-0, and officially, well, hopefully I can say officially, 7:19 left to go here in the first quarter. Look to be a short formation right now for Winston-Salem State. Kennard Brown, a lone wide receiver on the near side. Under center is Rod Tinsley, a 4-man front rather, coming from the Braves. Tinsley rolls out to the right side, looks for Will Walton in the end zone, and overthrows it. Triple coverage coming from the Braves. They know the guy to watch out for is Will Walton. Targeted on 2 straight plays to the end zone and coming up empty on both.
Hopefully we can see some pressure from the defensive line. We have too many upperclassmen not to get pressure on.
2nd and 10 on the Braves 13. They trail by 7 with 7:12 left to go here in the first quarter. Under center is Tinsley, 2 men in his backfield, split receiver on either side. He's ready for the snap and pulls back. Looks to the sideline for a new play call from head coach Keenis Bolware and the offensive coordinator John Etter. Back under center is Tinsley. Rolls out to the left side, hands it off, this time again to Carrion Moore. Moore jumps a man and gets about 7 yards on the play before being taken down. Again, just finding all the work. Looks to be Brian McAllister with the defensive stop for University of North Carolina Pembroke.
You can tell they're missing that veteran presence in the middle of the defense right there where he used to have E.J. Williams last year.
3rd and 1. 6:45 left to go. Another trip in the red zone for Winston-Salem State. Their first this season. Under center is Tinsley. Kennard Brown, the lone wide receiver. Putting a man in motion, that's Carrion Moore. The handoff on the near side. Looks to be Moore has it. Gets wrapped up in the backfield. Still fighting through it. Oh my goodness. Alpha Lamine finally able to pull him down. Looks like Moore was able to get the first down, however.
I thought that initial pop, they were going to drive him back, but he just kept fighting through it.
Looked to be about 4 different sets of hands on him before Lamine was finally able to pull him down, but not before the 1st and goal came to fruition.
That's not what you want to see from your veteran front.
Braves defense is the thing being talked about highest coming into this season, and you can't have them get too tired too fast, especially here in the first quarter. 7-0 Braves trail, under 6 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Tinsley under center, has the snap, handoff on the near side, Moore with the sweep, finds a hole, hurdles a man, breaks the plane, touchdown.
Yeah, he barely got that ball over the plane though.
Attempted a tackle from Khalil Vance, the defensive tackle, but went a little too low with it, and Carrion Moore is able to find his way in the end zone for the 2nd time today. It's 13-0 in favor of Winston-Salem State. Back out to attempt another PAT. Daniel Rivera 1 for 1 today. Snap is back, the ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 14-0 Braves trail, 5:42 left to go here in the first quarter. Let's take a short little break. We'll be right back in just a few seconds as the Braves trail 14-0 right here on the Braves Media Network. Back in on the Braves Media Network, 5:42 left to go here in the first quarter. An 8-play, 79-yard drive for Winston-Salem State and a 3-yard touchdown run, making it 14-0 in favor of the Rams. Braves saw something like this last time these two teams played. Started out with a 17-0 run from Winston-Salem State. The Braves fought back for 20 straight points to win last year's meeting, 20-17. Could go the same way. Daniel Moore with a kickoff, high, fairly deep, but picked up by JoJo Spann at the 7-yard line. He's headed to the near sideline, trying to make a play. Has some good blockage, but gets pushed out of bounds just at about the 34-yard line. Fair return, but not enough. Omar Baker the stop for Winston-Salem State, and out comes Dominic Sampson and the Braves offense. Alongside Josh Reed, I'm Matt Sabanas. We thank you, as always, for joining us here on the Braves Media Network. 14-0. UNCP trails, 5:34 left to go here in the first quarter. Split wide to either side for Dominic Sampson. He's got Miles Grant to his right in the gun. Low snap, fakes the handoff, pitches it onto the far side. It's a heavy sweep to the far side. A couple of extra blockers, but not enough in play. Kyrell Williamson the stop on the play, as the give was to... Give on that one was to Shaman Hicks.
Even though it was executed that well, it's always good to see, the runner head north and south instead of trying to get lateral all the time.
Grant off the field now, replaced by his backup, Joe Leake. in the shotgun with two wide receivers either side. Sampson calls for it, and he's quickly looking to pass. It's a bubble to Leak, and he's blown up in the backfield. That's a takedown. Hard from Kalen Chavis, the linebacker out of Charlotte, North Carolina. 3rd and 11 now. The Braves need to make up some ground. $14-0 they trail. 4.5 minutes left to go. Sampson back out with Leak. 3 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. It's a 4-man front incoming from Winston-Salem State. Shotgun is Sampson with Leak. Claps once, has it, back to pass, looking to the left, back to the right now. Throws high, little underthrown, not enough for the first down, and a toss out of bounds from the cornerback, DeAndre Blevins. That won't be enough for the first down.
It's a good play by DeAndre carrying the receiver out of bounds. They wouldn't call it complete.
That'll bring up 4th and 10 for the Braves and another punting unit trip for Isaac Parks. Braves looking for their first trip to the red zone today. Most likely won't get it come the end of this drive. Parks set to punt. Kennard Brown set to return. It's a low snap. Picked up on a bounce by Parks. No spiral. Brown will return this one. Loses the footing and he's brought down. They'll whistle the play dead as he took a knee in his attempt to recover the ball. Interestingly enough, but hey, if you're a Brave, you take it.
You just lost your footing, I guess.
Yeah. So it'll be Winston-Salem State back out on offense. Another 3 and out for the Braves. That's the 3rd time today that they've had to do that. 4:08 left to go here in the first quarter. Braves trailing 14-0. If you're head coach Shane Richardson, or for that matter, the defensive coordinator Joe Ford, you might be getting a little concerned with the amount of time your defense is spending on the field.
I know defensive coordinator is pulling his hair out right now.
Tinsley under center for the Rams. Fakes out the handoff, goes to Kennard Brown. Met in the backfield, brought down. Trayvon Gibson with the tackle for loss. Beautiful play by Gibson, the sophomore out of Claxton, Georgia. Not even 20 tackles last season. He's already got 2 today.
You always want to see that, the quick read and then the running out to
3:39 left to go here in the first quarter. 14-0, Braves trail. Tinsley under center with 2 receivers on the near side. He rolls out to the near side. The handoff is given to his running back. That's Xavier Quick. He's making some moves, flying through, shoulder down, and met as he's brought down by Amari Bryce Green. A hard gain. Not enough for the first down after that great tackle for loss, but it'll bring up 3rd and 4. Clock continues to tick. Ball on the near hash of the 29-yard line, I should say. 3:02 left to go here in this first quarter. 14-0 Braves trail as Tinsley sets back up in the I formation. 2 receivers on the far side. He's under center, a 4-man front incoming from the Braves, and Tinsley backs off to look to the sideline for a new play call from Kenny's Boulware. Tinsley set now, has the snap, rolls out, far side, gives to Carrion Moore, fights through an open hole front by the offensive line, tries to get back the linebacking core. Isn't able to push too far past, but is able to pick up the first down. Tackle made by Albert Wright, the linebacker for UNCP, and it's another 1st and 10 for Winston-Salem State.
You would like to see him get a stop on that 3rd down.
3rd down conversions last year for Braves opponents, only 31%. So far today, though, the Winston-Salem State Rams are 2 for 2. Same formation, split wide, a single man on either side for Winston-Salem State. Faking the handoff, Tinsley is back to pass. Met up by T.Y. Hinton, but he goes deep downfield, and it's just out of the hands of his wide receiver, Jalen Bobber, the Appalachian State transfer out of Monroe, North Carolina. Would have been a huge play, but Trayvon Gibson was on the coverage.
It was a great play by Gibson, turning around looking for the ball and then swatting it out of the receiver's hand.
They really held on to each other for most of that. Nothing illegal, mind you, but
it's good hand fighting.
It was a good play. Just under 2 to go. 14-0 Braves trail here in the first. Same formation. Rams don't seem to switch it up too much. 2 receivers, far side. 4-man rush incoming as this one's a give to Carrion Moore. He's met on the near side by Amari Bryce Green. Stiff arms him, but Green pulls him down after a 6-yard gain. Rather, Josh Manns with the tackle.
That was a good pull by the Winston-Salem guard.
Their entire offensive line is doing quite well for themselves. That was one of the things we brought up in the pregame, how Pembroke has an entire right side of offensive linemen as redshirt freshmen. One sophomore on this offensive line for Winston-Salem State. 3 seniors and a junior. That's experience for them.
You can tell they're a cohesive unit right now, just moving everybody off the block.
1:15 left to go here in the first quarter. Tinsley under center has the snap, and he's looking to pass. It's a quick one on the far side, just caught by Xavier Quick, who was lined up in the slot, or rather, not Quick, Jalen Barber. He had to use every inch of that 5'9" frame to hold on to that one. Just enough for a first down, though. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Hopefully it's actually under a minute to go, and they're not going to toss another 7 minutes on like they did last time.
Hopefully not.
First and 10 as the Rams have entered Braves territory now on their own 48-yard line. Tinsley with the snap, the give on the near side to Carrion Moore. Finds another hole, and he slips through into the backfield. A tackle made, luckily enough, by Michael Clark. He saw it coming, but it's going to be another 10 yards. Devin Jones, the tackle, as a matter of fact, the redshirt freshman out of Mooresville, North Carolina. 30 seconds remain here in the first quarter, and the Rams will probably have to get one more play off as the play clock is just about a split second ahead of the game clock.
I can see some pressure from the Braves defense right now. Tyler Hitton had over half a dozen sacks last year.
4-man front incoming. Tinsley puts a man in motion, and he's setting back. Handoff to Carrion Moore, and in the backfield, making a stop is Khalil Vance, the senior out of Greensboro. Most likely a loss of 1. That'll make it 2nd and 11 when we come back with the second quarter. 14-0 Braves trail when we return. We're going to be right back in just a few seconds. Alongside Josh Reed, I'm Matt Sabatas. This is the Braves Media Network. $14-0 at the end of the first quarter on the Braves Media Network. Matt Sabatas and Josh Reed along for the ride with you. Rod Tinsley, 4 for 6, 66 yards for Winston-Salem State. Dominic Sampson, somewhat of a polar opposite, 3 for 5. He only has 2 yards passing on the day. He's been sacked 1 time, and the Rams are threatening once again. Tinsley for the first time in this game in the shotgun. A quick pass out on the near side to his wide receiver, Jalen Barber. Fights through a defender, and he's still moving on the sideline before he's finally shoved out of bounds by the quarterback on that play. On Justin Davis. 14:53 remaining here in this one, and another trip to the red zone for Winston-Salem State. Second one today. They converted with a touchdown their last time through. We're only 15 seconds past here in the second quarter. 3 wide on the far side, 1 on the near. The lone wide receiver is Quincy Jackson. Tinsley slaps for it, doesn't get it. He's looking back to the sideline for a new play call. Wide receiver to his right side is Josh White. Has it now, high snap to give to White on the far side, and he's easily met by the defensive line. Alpha Lamine and T.Y. Hinton contributing on that tackle along with Khalil Vance. Great play from Vance as a couple of the defensive linemen head to the sideline.
I'd like to see some more interior pressure from Alpha this year too. He had 6 sacks last year, so if we can get a good push, maybe we can break some plays in the backfield.
One of the biggest guys on the defensive line as well. 6'3", 240 pounds. Vance with an opportunity in a 4-point stance. He's rushing through. That's T.Y. Hinton as well. That's a pass to Kennard Brown through his fingertips on a great coverage from the linebacker on that play. That's Albert Wright.
And actually, the safety, Josh Mans, was in position to maybe get a pick on that play if he would have been
got across just a little bit faster.
He could have died for it. He could have got that pick, but, you live and you learn. Well, they can turn up the heat here on 3rd down and get some pressure on the quarterback.
Rams converted their last trip to the red zone. The Braves are trying to keep that from happening again. 3rd and 9 with 13:47 left to go here in the quarter. Tinsley under pressure for the first time today. 3 men in pursuit. He throws it away to the sideline. Is it caught? No. Kennard Brown couldn't haul it in. He saw an opportunity, but it was just a little too far outside.
Yeah, it wasn't quite a sack, but you know what? Quarterback pressure is just as good as a sack. Any defensive lineman will tell you that.
Take the hurry up whenever you can get it. So that brings up 4th down for the first time today for Winston-Salem State. The Braves had punted the ball away 3 times already. This is the first instance of a 4th down for Winston-Salem State. It will be attempted field goal of 33 yards from Daniel Rivera. From the near hash, the snap is back, the ball is down, the kick is up. Looks like a fingertip got on it as it sails wide left.
That's what you like to see. That's what you like to see.
Braves defense comes up with a big defensive stop in the red zone as they'll have a chance to shrink the lead to 1 score on this ensuing offensive play. Swapping out quickly, it's Dominic Sampson in the offense.
Going back to that last defense series on the last play on the breakup, they dialed up a nice corner blitz on that play.
Sampson lined up in the backfield. He's ready to go. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near, a 4-man front incoming from Winston-Salem State. Low snap, the give on the far side to his running back. That's Josh Sheridan over to the right side. Doesn't get a hole from his offensive line, and he's only able to fight through for about 2 yards. Defensive lineman Emil Smith with the tackle for Winston-Salem State. It's 2nd and 8.
Nice decisive running by Sheridan, though. Instead of always running west to east and west, he got north and south real quick.
Same formation. Shift from the defensive line, looking to bring the blitz now. Pocket collapses as it's just tossed away by Sampson. But a little too far for his wide receiver to make the play.
Just that right side offensive line again.
Shaman Hicks, the intended target, but the offensive line just wasn't able to make the play.
You'd think they put a tight end to help out the right tackle on that side, or at least a back over there for a chip block.
3rd down already for the Braves. They have not been good with it. 0 for 3 today. 2016, they were 41% on their 3rd down conversions. Full coverage in the shotgun as Sampson looks deep with it. Goes downfield and can't make the play is Aaron Whitaker. Just overthrown, no flag. That's going to be another 3 and out for the Braves.
Times like this, you miss playmakers like B.J. Bunn.
See some of the plays, the highlights he had last season. That's a guy you want in your corner.
Oh yeah, the guy was phenomenal last year.
14-0 Braves trail, 12:45 left to go here in the first half. As it's another trip out for Isaac Parks and the punting unit. Each team with all 3 of their timeouts as we're just a little bit past the midway point here of the first half. Parks the kick. Kennard Brown to return at his own 35. Parks gets it away just in time as a blocker comes in. First bounce at the 42-yard line when Brown picks it up. Tries to hurdle a man. A tackle not made. A hard hit in the back. And finally brought down is Kennard Brown by Braves number 35, Bakembe Kearney.
You want to see more commitment on the tackle on the special teams unit on that play.
Word from our sponsors, folks. Ever wondered why our sponsor, Lumberton Chevy Buick Cadillac GMC, has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevrolets, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUVs and trucks. They have everything from budget vehicles to top-of-the-line Cadillacs. So why would you shop anywhere else? Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle's being serviced, you can see for yourself. They're located next to Lumberton High School. That's Lumberton Chevy, Buick, Cadillac, GMC. Tinsley back in the game now for the Rams offense. Quick under pressure, and he's got plenty of time now as the offensive line holds deep. He's going downfield for Brown, and it's overthrown. They're really trying to find Kennard Brown, Josh.
Oh, yeah, they are. And he had great protection on that play, too. I almost thought it was a flea flicker for a second, the way he rolled out on the play action.
Tinsley last season, a decent year for his sophomore campaign. 52% passing, 8 interceptions, but 18 touchdowns, averaging 177 yards per game. Right now, he's at 85 with a 121 QB rating.
And after allowing that big gain early, Trevor Gibson's been really running stride for stride with these receivers.
14-0 Braves trail, 12:24 left to go in the half. This one a handoff on the far side. Xavier Quick met at the line of scrimmage. Beautiful play. Chris Plotch, one of the captains with the tackle.
That's the kind of run defense you want to see from this defense.
Plotch brought on by Colton Weeks, the starting linebacker, the redshirt freshman out of High Point, North Carolina. Big defensive opportunity now for the Braves as they trail by 2 touchdowns. 3rd and 9. Rams still in their own territory.
You get your best pass rushers out there in Alpha and then Tyler Hinton, so you want to see him dial it up on this play.
Tajay Lyles and Khalil Vance on the field as well as Tinsley looks to pass. Pocket collapsing. In pursuit is T.Y. Hinton, and the play is broken up. Michael Clark making a play.
Huge hit, huge hit.
Wow.
He really lit him up on that play, not only just making a tackle, but dislodging the ball.
Tried to go to Chris Sharper, the tight end on that one, to make something out of a screenplay, but the Braves sniffed it out. So for the first time today, it'll be Kevin Jacobs, the freshman out of Kannapolis, North Carolina, to punt it away. JoJo Spann to return this one.
He has neon shoes also, the punter.
I guess it's a special teams thing.
Maybe.
Here's our first taste as Jacobs just gets it away. It's a short spiral. Spann picks it up, and he's looking to return it at the 19. He's under heavy pressure and immediately brought down. Looks like they'll give him about a 3-yard gain on that return. Nothing too serious.
Yeah, when it comes to special teams, you want to see a returner get north and south real quick, make quick, decisive cuts, and turn upfield. He did a little too much dancing back there.
Seemed to, yeah, that was going to be my point exactly. Seemed to be he tried, but was a little too uncertain of the steps he was making. 11:25 left to go here in the first half. 14-0 Braves trail, still looking to get on the board. Last time these two teams met, the Braves only put up 3 points in the first half and 17 in the second half. They were a second half team last year. Sampson in the backfield, has the snap, and he looks to quickly pass, and he overthrows his wide receiver.
They could have slipped through the hands of the fullback.
Isaiah Eller, the tight end, the intended receiver on that one. The Braves are really just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks when it comes to some of these formations. That's one of the issues you have when you have such a young team. You never know what's tried and true.
You know, sometimes we don't really have established playmakers. You got to see who's going to go out there and make a play for your team.
Split wide now with 2 on either side. Sampson almost faked the handoff, but finally got it away to his running back that time. That's Quadrin Williams, and he's not able to get anything on a sweep. Brought down in the backfield by a trio of Rams. Look to be headlined by Tyrell Fleming. $14-0. Braves still trail. 10:50 left to go here in the second quarter. 3rd and 12 A big conversion attempt incoming from the Braves. They've yet to get one today. Empty backfield. As you know, Sampson will be looking to pass. Four-man front incoming as he's looking to the left side. Sampson goes quick with it. It's caught by JoJo Spann. He's got the first down and a little bit more down to the 38-yard line before he's finally pulled down by the secondary. J. Ron Rankin and Darius Skinner with the stop for Winston-Salem State.
It's a great play by JoJo, making the first man miss and turning upfield for extra yardage.
That's something you need from a playmaker. The only senior in this receiving core. Didn't play last year, but he had 40 receptions in 2015, nearly 10 yards per. Back up in the shotgun formation now is Sampson. He's got a running back to his left side with two receivers on the far, one on the near. It's a low snap. He's looking to the near side, throws up the middle, though, not complete as he was trying to get to Ronald Porter, the sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina. But the linebacking core was able to sniff it out. Tackle made on that play, breaking it up by Whitney McLeod.
It looks like Whitney McLeod is down right now.
10 to 2 at the 45-yard line. They're bringing the training staff out. He's on a knee, and they're taking a look at him. Let's see how serious this gets. He's up on his feet. It's not Whitney McLeod, though. It's Pat Green, the linebacker out of Winston-Salem. One of the seniors on this defensive squad, and he's off on his own power. Might just be getting the wind knocked out of him.
That's probably what it was on that tackle.
Yeah. Looked to be a hard play up the middle there for both sides. 9:58 left to go here in this first half as the Braves are using this opportunity to meet up on their own sideline. Winston-Salem State and the Rams are back out on the ball now. It'll be 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass.
Yeah, with the inexperienced offensive line, you'd think they'd try to run more stretch or zone plays, try to, slide the protection a little bit. Hopefully we'll see some of that here in the second half.
Looks to be that Sampson will be going with a passing play, the very least on this one. Empty backfield, four-man rush incoming. Claps for it, has it, near side, quick screen. Caught, splitting through three defenders, still on his feet, and finally rolling out of bounds on that play is number 5, E.J. Williams. So on a big 2nd and 10, E.J. Williams is able to pick up the first down. And with 9:45 left to go here in the first half, Braves still trailing 14-0, but with an opportunity to make their way into the Rams' side of the field for the first time today. Single man back, Sampson, the give. This is on the far side for Josh Sheridan. Tries to get through the guard, but only gets about 3 yards before the secondary gobbles him up. Tackle made on that play by the defensive lineman for Winston-Salem, Emil Smith. Three-yard gain, 2nd and 7 as the Braves enter Rams territory for the first time today. Same formation. The give, fake to Sheridan, extra pass blocker, passed outside to Quay Threat. He makes his way over to the far side and just gets past the marker across the hash line. Will they move the chains? Yes, they will. 1st and 10 for the Braves, and they're starting to make moves.
It's good to see some traction from this UNCP offense right now.
That's all it takes, just one good drive. Braves finally starting to get that one good drive in them. They trail by 2. Touchdowns, that is. 8:36 left to go here in the first half. Swapping through some of the receiving core, JoJo Grant onto the field now, the redshirt junior out of Newport. 3 wide receivers. Josh Sheridan in the backfield. The give is to him. On the near side, met. And he's taken down hard.
That's too much penetration on by defensive line in the run game.
Emil Smith, the first touch, about 3 yards back, and Sheridan wasn't able to make much more after that. Smith has been a good part of this Winston-Salem State team already, considering he wasn't even a part of the starting line. Sheridan able to get back to the line of scrimmage, makes it 2nd and 10 now. Snap back for Sampson. He's looking to pass with a lot of pass coverage. Pocket starts to collapse, though. Hit on the blind side, and he's taken down. That's a sack for Justice Smith. First of the year for the redshirt sophomore out of Charlotte. And that'll bring up a hard 3rd down for UNCP.
drive's kind of stalling right now. I'd hate to waste his good field position with no points.
Clouds beginning to roll in here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium as the Braves trail 14-0 on what could be the close of the best drive they've had this game. All depends on this play. 3rd and 14 at the Rams 45. Sampson to pass. It's a screen down to the sideline. He's got some room. That's Joe Leake moving with it. A flag comes in as he's brought down, but most likely a flag on the offense as he only gets to about the 38-yard line. Tackle made on the play by Cedric Stewart, the junior cornerback. Let's see what this flag is. They're discussing it. Far hash of the 40. Looked to be the back judge that had thrown it.
Maybe he saw something on the backside of the play, drew a flag. A late hold by offensive lineman, didn't know the ball was released yet.
You have to assume it's something offensively, especially on passing plays like that.
You see the offense is all the way back there, so maybe that is indicative of the flag being on them.
Still moving the ball. They're walking around now. Oh, it's always fun during these lulls. Where are they going with it?
Going to play, we have an illegal crackback block. Number 72 on the offense.
All right, so that's on the right tackle, George Baldwin. Redshirt freshman out of Conover, North Carolina, and that'll just push the Braves back a little bit farther for this 3rd down.
Yeah, it actually happens a lot on those screen plays, the crackback blocks, because the running back will try to make a cut either inside or out, and then an offensive line will try to pick up a block down the field.
It was 3rd and 14, and now it's 3rd and just a little bit longer, 3rd and 24. Braves get pushed back into their own territory now.
I can see him at least getting field goal range on this play.
You'd have to see what Nate Williams can handle. Only 1 field goal last year from 24 yards out. Sampson looking to pass. Doesn't take much on a drop back as he quickly slings it out to Shaman Hicks, and Hicks is met just across midfield.
Sampson's pass complete to 14, Shaman Hicks.
Tyrell Fleming with the tackle for Winston-Salem State, and that'll bring out the punting unit.
Yeah. Sophomore Nate Williams has big shoes to fill with that Matt Davis graduating in the spring.
Like we mentioned in the pregame, bar was set fairly high last year for the Braves. There are a lot of kids on this team that have a lot of big shoes to fill.
Incredibly high, but hopefully this young team can prove that their experience won't be their handicap this year.
Drive of 11 plays, 30 yards comes to an end as Isaac Parks is back out to punt it away. Kennard Brown to return, lined up at his own 11-yard line. It's a low snap. Parks with plenty of blocking, gets it away as Brown picks it up at the 13. Has a lot of coverage, but just pulled down at the legs. A flag comes in, and it's one of the players in the head for UNCP. Colton Weeks attributed on the tackle, but it was Amari Bryce Green that brought him down. What is this flag going to be on?
Might be a block in the back by the receiving team.
Seems to be that could be it. As Colton Weeks. There it is. Colton Weeks came in a little bit shaky, and it looked to be. And Jonathan Bryant just got a little handsy.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. You might give somebody a shove in the back. That's all it takes to draw that flag.
Folks, a word from our sponsors. Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 of UNC Pembroke's varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all of its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for our student athletes. Rod Tinsley and the Rams back out now, 1st and 10 after the penalty from their own 7-yard line. Just under 6 to go. Braves trail by 2 touchdowns here in the 2nd quarter. Tinsley, the handoff on the near side, carrying more, met at the line of scrimmage. That's a great collapse from the UNCP defensive line.
The defensive line finally started to put their foot in the ground and get in there.
Colton Weeks contributing with Alpha Lamine to make the stop, and that makes it 2nd and 9.
With the offense struggling right now, you'd love to see the defense possibly get a safety this deep in the opponent's end zone.
Not even a safety necessarily, just as much of a 3 and out would help.
All right.
Get you around midfield with a decent punt. Tinsley under center looking to pass as he rolls out to the left side, 2 feet in the end zone, and he fires downfield for a first down. A flag flies in as a tackle is made, that time by Cameron Williams, the linebacker for UNC Pembroke. Looks to be that the Rams aren't moving ahead with that one. They're anticipating it to come against them. That was Will Walton, the receiver, the junior out of Charlotte, with the play. And let's see what we have here on this call. So it looks like the Rams are expecting it to go against them. Illegal receiver downfield. The running back, Xavier Quick, crossed the line of scrimmage before the ball left the hands. That's a big break for the Braves.
Yeah, you never really want to see defensive back playing that far off in coverage, even in zone defense.
So instead of 2nd and 9 on the 8, it's 2nd and 13 on the 4. Braves with another big chance here. Let's see if they can get some good pass rushing. Hand off to Moore on the far side. Andre Hodge with a good block, but Moore is brought down quickly by the Braves defensive lineman.
It's 3rd down, bringing in Tyler Hinton and big guns for that pass rush.
Third and 11 for the Rams on their own 5-yard line. 4.5 left to go here in the first half. Braves need this stop for a healthy opportunity to get on the board before the half comes to a close. They trail 14-0. Tinsley under center has the snap, rolls out, fakes the handoff, gives it actually to his running back Xavier Quick, and Quick is immediately met at the line of scrimmage by Khalil Vance. A big defensive stop from the senior D tackle.
Huge. And also on the previous play, Winston-Salem's starting right guard, David Baggett, limped off to the sideline, so hopefully we can take advantage of that hole on the right side of the line to get some pass rush pressure in there.
Brings in Justin Martinez, the backup right guard. It's only the 2nd time today we're seeing Kevin Jacobs, but he is backed up in his own end zone. JoJo Spann set to return in Rams territory. It's a short punt bouncing first at the 36. Spann will let it roll. Just crosses midfield. They'll mark it at the Braves' 49-yard line. Looks like they'll mark it midfield.
He just got that ball off. If he was a hair second late, that would have been a block in the end zone for possibly a touchdown or a safety.
Braves had a pair of punt blocks last year. You can only hope it happens again at some point, but we've got a full season to look forward to. 3:38 left to go for the Braves to try and march 50 yards to get on the board for the first time today. They trail by 2 touchdowns here in the first half. Sampson in the gun with Miles Grant to his backside. 3 wide receivers, fakes the give to Grant. He rolls out to the right looking for a deep pass, goes downfield, and it's caught for a first down. On his feet and just rolling away with it is the wide receiver E.J. Williams. Brought down after picking up 11, and the Braves are on the move.
I actually had a class with EJ last semester, leadership class, and he said even though he wasn't eligible to play last year, he wants to be a force in the receiver room this year.
Seems like a good class to take for a football player. Leadership class?
Oh, yeah.
Down the sideline. Tries Sampson, and he gets wrapped up. It'll be a loss of about 2.
I think that might have been a broken play. I didn't really see the running back really commit to the fake.
Most likely. 3:04 left to go here in the first half. 14-0 Braves trail. Is the deepest the Braves have been in Rams territory today. Robert Beecham headed off the field, bringing on a couple of wide receivers, including JoJo Spann and Shaman Hicks. There's now 2 on either side with Miles Grant to the right of Dominic Sampson. The give is to Grant. He's met in the backfield, wrapped up, brought down. Justice Smith, the defensive end, with the tackle for loss. Unfortunate.
They could just give him some running lanes to run through. Miles Grant could really wreck this game.
The clock is ticking, but the Braves have a 3rd and 14 to worry about. 2:10 left to go as they trail by 2 touchdowns. Grant stays in at running back. 2 receivers on either side. Only a three-man rush incoming from Winston-Salem State. Sampson has it, looking to pass. Pocket in pretty good shape as it's a quick screen out to Miles Grant. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Hard play didn't come to fruition. Cedric Stewart, the tackle, along with the safety Josh Martin. And the Braves have a decision to make.
Yeah, I would like to see the offense get a little more vertical on that play, trying to at least get in field goal range.
It'll be Isaac Parks coming out to punt it away. Clock continues to tick as it seems to be. Best chance for the Braves now is to try and eliminate as much damage as they can. Winston-Salem State receives the ball to start the second half after deferring to the Braves in the first half. Parks is ready to boot it. Kennard Brown lined up at his own 11-yard line to return it. High snap, they don't look to block as Parks lines it up. A high overarching punt. And a fair catch signal by Kennard Brown, picked up at his own 5-yard line. Clock will stop with 1:12 left to go here in the first half as the Braves trail by 2 touchdowns. Word from our sponsors now, folks. When UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be part of the team as the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics. Led by Ortho Carolina Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander, their specialists will cover every football and men's basketball game. From practice drills to kickoff and tip-off, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far. Tinsley in the offense back out on the field, similar position they were into last drive. As Tinsley looks to pass on a rollout to the near side, he's going downfield. Did we have a flag on that play? No, it's just overthrown of Quincy Jackson. I thought I heard a whistle, but that could just be my ears failing.
Or it might be from the stands. You know, some people have their kettlebells, some people have their whistles.
No, you're a broadcaster. You can't go deaf. That's the issue. Gotta be in tip-top shape. It's unfortunate. Clock stops with a minute left to go here in the first half. Braves still trail by 2 touchdowns. They could really benefit from a turnover right now. 14 interceptions and 16 fumbles recovered last season, in which the Braves scored 91 points off of those 30 turnovers. This one a give on the far side. Hard sweep, breaking a tackle, picking up the first down for the Rams is Jais Linebarger. Cycling through as many players as they can to keep the defense on their toes as Linebarger picks up a new set of downs.
You like to see the Braves keep more contained on the edge. Seeing a lot of runs on the outside, gaining first downs.
Linebarger made his way out of bounds, so it stops the clock at 55. Braves trail by 2 touchdowns. Tinsley in the gun. He's looking for a quick pass. It's a draw play instead. Given to Xavier Quick. He's on the far side of the tackles, but he's met just past the line of scrimmage. Maybe pushes for a gain of 4. Brought down by the cornerback, Michael Clark. An excellent read from the redshirt freshman out of Charlotte.
Seen a lot of stiff arms from these Winston-Salem skill positions. You'd like to see somebody put a head on the ball and just poke that thing out of there.
Empty backfield for the first time from Tinsley. He's looking downfield. Alpha Lamine breaks up the pocket, and they're in pursuit. Tinsley's going to take it himself as the Braves come on him. Only about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage before he just runs on out by himself. Tinsley saw the opportunity. He took it. Only about 50 carries last season for the junior quarterback, averaging about 5 yards per, and with 18 seconds left to go here in the half, it'll move the chains, most likely one last time.
And you can see defensive end Alpha Lemon pleading with the ref for a flag. I mean, his jersey was getting torn up on that play. I thought for sure it was going to be a holding.
See how Lamine fares in this one. A 4-man rush incoming with another empty backfield. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Quick pass over to the far side. Will Walton can't make a play as he's wrapped up and nearly brought down on that one by James Martin. 15 seconds remain in the first. Braves trail by 2 touchdowns. It's 2nd and 10 from the 27.
That was a great tight coverage by Martin on that play. He wasn't too early.
That's all you can ask for a lot of the time. Clock will stop, but the play clock is only at 15 right now, so the Rams will need to move quickly. Andre Hodge back into the game, the fullback, along with Jais Linebarger. Had that 11-yard carry earlier. Instead, this is a passing play coming from Tinsley, looking deep downfield. Kennard Brown wide open at the 40. He's got it, splits a defender. In pursuit are two more Braves. He's to the 30, the 25, the 20. Showing the speed, he's on his way to the end zone for a touchdown.
Blown coverage on that play, complete blown coverage. He was streaking down the field.
Breaks past two defenders. Tinsley has been targeting Kennard Brown all day. And a 73-yard pass to close out the first half is finally the one to make it through. 20-0, Winston-Salem State and the Rams have increased their lead.
Obviously, miscommunication by the safety in the corner on that side. Complete blown coverage, just had the man streaking down the field.
2 for 2 is Daniel Rivera on the PATs today. He missed a field goal earlier from 33 yards out, but he nails this one. No! Tip to the left side, and it'll be 20-0 still. They already updated the scoreboard. Sometimes it's just automatic, you know, Josh?
Yeah, sometimes you think a PAT would be automatic, but look, people struggle with that on every level.
He got jittered about that missed field goal, I guess you could say. 2 seconds remaining in the half. It's 20-0, Braves trailing. One last reminder before we go to halftime. Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation belongs to the members it serves. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run. And with members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions are made in your best interest and the best interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? Members know they can trust LREMC because it was created not to make profits, but to deliver on their promise, providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. 4 values are the foundation of Lumbee River EMC's service to its members: innovation, commitment to community, accountability, and integrity. These values represent the cooperative difference in how our co-op earns the trust of members every single day. 6 plays, 94 yards, capped off by a 73-yard touchdown pass from Rod Tinsley to Kennard Brown. As I said, they had been targeting Brown all day.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was Gibson on that play that was supposed to be covering him or not. He may have been the opposite side of the field, but wherever it was, they have to get the communication between safety and corner right, because they can't be getting burned like that again.
Well, it's obvious the frustration is building on the Braves sideline, as responding in this half is most likely not an option. Daniel Rivera once again out to boot it away, back to return for the Braves. A new returner this time around, it's Tyreek Ramsier and JoJo Spann. Spann at the 5, Ramsier at the 10, and it's a squib. Picked up by Spann at the 21. Tries to find a hole, runs into a couple of his own defenders. He's going east to west now, nearly pulled by the horse collar, but a good save from the Rams on that defensive play as the clock comes to an end. That's going to do it for the first half, folks. 20-0. UNCP and the Braves trail the Winston-Salem State University Rams. As I mentioned, Braves only put up 3 points in the first half the last time these two teams met, and they came out on top 20-17 in that matchup. They're just going to have to put on a little bit more of a clinic at the start of the second half. We'll be right back in just a few seconds with the halftime show. But for the time being, enjoy a couple of commercials. Alongside Josh Reed, I'm Matt Sabatis. UNCP Braves football is right here on the Braves Media Network.
The Esther G. Maynard Honors College at UNC Pembroke offers driven students an advanced learning community to live, learn, and grow together while on campus. Our scholars not only take specialized honors courses as part of their general curriculum, but also enjoy regular co-curricular events on and off campus with access to opportunities exclusive to Honors College members. Find out more about our Maynard Honors College and our scholarships today.
The PBC is commitment.
The PBC is community.
The PBC is competition.
The PBC is character. We are the PBC.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Thanks, guys. We're down here field level with the head coach of the Braves, Shane Richardson. Coach, here it is, game day, finally.
The PBC is commitment.
The PBC is community.
The PBC is competition.
The PBC is character. We are the PBC.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Back in on the Braves Media Network, Matt Savanas, Josh Reed here with you. As the Braves are trailing 20-0 to the Winston-Salem State University Rams here in Week 1 of the 2017 season. Looking at some of your stat leaders for the end of the first half. Rushing-wise, Josh Sheridan leads the way for the Rams, or for the Braves, I should say. 5 carries, but unfortunately only 9 yards. Dominic Sampson with the net yard of 1, along with 4 carries. He's been sacked twice, while Winston-Salem State is having a much better day on the ground.
That's putting it lightly.
Gary and Moore, 4 carries, 99 yards and 1 touchdown, including a 44-yard touchdown run. Farrell Murchison with an 8-carry, 32-yard day, a 31-yard touchdown run. Xavier Quick, 3 carries, 23 yards, and then Jaiz Linebarger with that final 11-yard carry towards the end of the first half. Passing-wise, Rod Tinsley just under 50%, 6 for 14 with 158 yards. A passing touchdown of 73 yards to Kennard Brown with 2 seconds left to go in the first half. No interceptions. From either side, that's probably the only positive side you can take from it right now, Josh, is that the Braves have yet to surrender an interception. 10 for 16 is Dominic Sampson on the upside, but only picking up 59 yards and being sacked twice in the process. E.J. Williams is the leading receiver for UNC Pembroke. 2 grabs, 23 yards, 1 going for 12 yards. And then Kennard Brown, the main target. We've been eyeing him all day. 3 receptions, 125 yards. Most of them coming from that 73-yard touchdown. Yeah. Tackles-wise, defensively, Kyrell Williamson, half a sack, 2 tackles for loss, 7 total tackles, while Devin Jones leads the way for the Pembroke Braves. 3 total tackles, all of them solo, but the Braves have yet to register a tackle for loss or a sack in today's game. And that's the thing that just kind of throws you. Looking at these halftime numbers, Josh, is that the defense was so highly touted, but it seems to be that the offense is pulling away a little bit with the better numbers.
It's a little mind-blowing right now. I mean, you've had some good stuff at the line of scrimmage, but like you said, nothing in the backfield, no sacks, some good pressures in the back. But you want to see turnovers, you want to see sacks, you want to see interceptions going the other way. But hopefully they can. The coaches aren't berating them too much in the in the locker room, but they need to get everything fixed and make sure there are no more lapses in coverage.
Winston-Salem State got the scoring started in the first quarter, only a few minutes in with Carrion Moore's 40-yard touchdown run. That made it 7-0. About 7 minutes later, Pharrell Munchinson capped off an 8-play, 79-yard drive with a 3-yard touchdown run. That made it 14-0, and we almost had a scoreless second quarter until the very final play before the kickoff. Winston-Salem State's Kennard Brown hauled in a 73-yard touchdown pass from Rod Tinsley. The kick from Daniel Rivera did not materialize, and that left it at 20-0. Daniel Rivera attempted a 33-yard field goal from the near hash. That one was blocked by the Braves, so potentially could be 24-0 right now. Silver linings and all that, so the Braves will have still a lot of ground to cover come the second half. Winston-Salem will receive the second half kickoff. We'll talk a little bit more about halftime when we return. We're going to take a break in the halftime show right here on the Braves Media Network alongside Josh Reed. I'm Matt Sabatis. Keep it here.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
The University of North Carolina at Pembroke was founded in 1887 by American Indians to provide education to the local community to ensure a pathway to success. Today, we're part of the world-renowned University of North Carolina system, but the spirit of our founding still guides us. Our strong academics are exemplified by standout programs in education, athletic training, business, and nursing, and by students working with professors on groundbreaking research. Explore the brave spirit today.
Media Network, Matt Sabatis and Josh Reed. Here with you as the Braves trail Winston-Salem State 20-0 here at the half. It's a heck of a season incoming for the Braves. After this, they'll be on the road to take on Elizabeth City State, a 1 p.m. kickoff September 9th. That's a week from Saturday. Then it's a pair of home games here at Grace B. Johnson against Catawba and Tusculum University. Then a trio of road games at Newberry, at Wingate. Then a week off. How often do you see that? A bye week in college football at the D2 level?
Almost never.
Yeah, then October 21st, they play at Concord. Homecoming against Lenore-Rhine on October 28th. Then Mars Hill and Carson Newman on the road. As I mentioned, this is test 1 of 10 to see if the Braves can replicate their program high season record of 10-2 last season and perhaps another appearance in the NCAA playoffs. For Winston-Salem State, their CIAA schedule is a little bit easier down the line for them as they play Shaw and Fayetteville State at the end of the season. Pembroke Braves are their only non-conference game this year. They play Bowie State next, who they defeated in the CIAA championship game last year. Then they're at Virginia Union and Virginia State versus Lincoln and Johnson C. Smith. Then they face St. Augustine's and Livingston College, followed by Shaw and Fayetteville State. Winston-Salem leads this series 4-3, but the Braves have won the last two, including last year's 20-17 victory. That was one of only 3 losses that Winston-Salem State suffered last year. All 3 losses they suffered were non-conference matchups. They went 9-0 in the CIAA last year. And Josh, they're proving why on this fine Thursday afternoon.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, any success for any team, starts with a strong run game.
Clouds have receded, but some are starting to come back in from the north. It's some remnants of Hurricane Harvey out from Houston, and some of it not. It's just a rough little patch. As we mentioned, this game initially slated for 7 o'clock, had to get moved back, or a little bit earlier, I should say, moved ahead in order to allow both teams to get it in and an opportunity to get the game played without any chance of rain. We're going to take another short break. We'll come right back, give a little analyzation into the second half, see what the Braves need to do to get things right and right the ship. When we come back right here on the Braves Media Network.
The Esther G. Maynard Honors College at UNC Pembroke offers driven students an advanced learning community to live, learn, and grow together while on campus. Our scholars not only take specialized honors courses as part of their general curriculum, but also enjoy regular co-curricular events on and off campus with access to opportunities exclusive to Honors College members. Find out more about our Maynard Honors College and our scholarships today.
The PBC is commitment.
The PBC is community.
The PBC is competition.
The PBC is character. We are the PBC.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
Josh Reed and Matt Sabatas here with you on the Braves Media Network as UNC Pembroke trails 20-0 to the Winston-Salem State University Rams. And as we've mentioned it, Josh, the passing game is the name of the game throughout this first half. Rod Tinsley, 6 for 14, while Dominic Sampson is 10 for 16. The difference being is Rod Tinsley has thrown for 158 yards. Dominic Sampson has only thrown for 59. The offensive line showing its experience on the field so far.
Or inexperience.
Well, both sides. There's
yeah.
There's
On
the
Winston-Salem
experience on
side,
Winston-Salem
yes,
side.
you can definitely see it's clear and obvious.
That is for sure. Rod Tinsley, one touchdown through the air. That was the touchdown to close out the first half, the 73-yarder to Kennard Brown, who has 3 receptions himself. As the special teams have retaken the field and they're trying to get warmed up. Isaac Parks has seen a lot of action for the Braves so far. 6 punts, 248 yards, just an average of 41.3. That's about what we saw from Matt Davis last year, 41-yard average. 3 of those punts have ended up inside the 20 after the return. So, silver linings. I've probably said that phrase 3 or 4 times already.
But you know, hey, you gotta count your blessings when you can. You gotta get a punter with a hell of a leg. I want to see more consistency from long snapper Ryan Watkins. He's had some low snaps at the feet of the punter, and some high ones that went over his head. But you know, that's what happens when you have a good 6-foot punter. You know, he can go up there and get it, or he can reach down low and scoop it up. But
I mean, heck, that could be nerves too. Watkins, a true freshman out of Kennersville, North Carolina. You can't always expect somebody to be perfect when they walk onto a field for the first time, especially at this level.
And you can see some of his family members down there with the Watkins jerseys on, so he's probably nervous playing in front of his family. First game jitters for everybody.
Some of the teams set to take the field now. Just over 3 minutes left to go before the start of the second half. The Rams will receive, but we're going to take a short break right now. So let's see how that goes, and we'll come back in just a few seconds. This is Braves football as they trail 20-0 to the Winston-Salem State University Rams right here on the Braves Media Network.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
The University of North Carolina at Pembroke was founded in 1887 by American Indians to provide education to the local community to ensure a pathway to success. Today, we're part of the world-renowned University of North Carolina system, but the spirit of our founding still guides us. Our strong academics are exemplified by standout programs in education, athletic training, business, and nursing, and by students working with professors on groundbreaking research. Explore the brave spirit today.
Just a few seconds away from the start of the second half here from Grace P. Johnson Stadium. The Braves are going to have to try for a big comeback. 20 unanswered points in the first half for Winston-Salem State University, and the Rams capped off by a 73-yard touchdown pass from Rod Tinsley to Kennard Brown to close out half number 1. Alongside Josh Reed, I'm Matt Sabatis. We thank you for joining us on the Braves Media Network, and hopefully you being there can send a little good luck our way on this fine home opener day as the clouds roll in, cover the sun. Grace B. Johnson Stadium is looking fairly nice, not as full as they had to move the start time back from 7 p.m. to 3 p.m. on this Thursday afternoon. And a lot of the students just weren't able to miss class. Only, what is it now? I'm not a student anymore, Josh, so I don't know. Is it the third week of
Third week of classes,
Third
yeah.
week of classes? That's still early enough to where you want to keep showing up to the classes.
Oh,
obviously.
yeah.
Once it gets to the 5th week, the 6th week, that's when you can start just calling in sick. Fresh 15 on the clock as the special teams unit is out on the field. This will be the first time we've seen Nate Williams today, as the Braves have come up scoreless, and Winston-Salem State Rams elected to defer to the second half. They will receive the ball, and Nate Williams will get his first taste as a kickoff man after the loss of Matt Davis. Williams last season had 14 kicks, averaged only about 53 yards with 2 touchbacks, and he kicked it out of bounds twice. So hopefully he can right the ship just a little bit. Back to return for Winston-Salem State, Kennard Brown. He had 21 returns last year. And alongside him is number 5, Kyrell Williamson. Moving quickly as Nate Williams gets it underway. Alongside Williamson, it's Jari's linebacker, but Kennard Brown picks it up at the 15. He tries to cut back, going east to west now, met at the legs of the 21-yard line. And he's brought down. A good tackle on that play from the Braves. Cameron Williams, the linebacker. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Winston-Salem State at their own 22-yard line.
That was great lane integrity by the special teams unit, staying in their lanes and not making sure that the returner had a lane to cut outside of field.
And that's the whole point of going about the lanes, is just to properly pinch in on the returner. Executed perfectly on that one. 14:51 left to go here in the third quarter, I should say. That first half dragged on. It got stuck on my tongue. 20-0 Braves trail. In the shotgun is Tinsley, fakes the give to Quick, and he rolls out to the near side. In pursuit is T.Y. Hinton, and the throw is botched to Kennard Brown, as there was a Brave in coverage on that play. Who was it? It was Albert Wright, the linebacker.
Yeah, Christopher Potch almost had the pick if he would have just dove a little bit sooner.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Rams. Braves defense showed some sparks of life at the closing portion of the second quarter, but that 73-yard touchdown pass to Kennard Brown took a lot of wind out of the sails. It looks like it'll be another passing play on this one as Rod Tinsley is set up alone in the backfield. He looks to the left side with a 3-man front over there, and it's intercepted by the Braves across to the 20, now to the 25, to the 15, brought down at the 5, the first interception of the year, the first turnover of the game, and the Braves are in the red zone. Trayvon Gibson, 1 pick last year, and he matches his season total in game number 1.
I thought if he would have stayed outside, he would have had a pick 6. Maybe he saw
I think he got a little too excited when he made that play. Either way, it's 1st and goal from the 4.
Sometimes guys get a little too anxious. They want to cut back, make the nice little step to return instead of just reading the whole field. And like I said, north and south, north and south.
Sometimes they try to be fancy with it, Josh. They want to show off.
He tried to finesse it.
There's nothing wrong with that. I understand. I'm not trying to call anybody out on this. In a shotgun formation, Sampson looks to hand off, finds his man in Josh Sheridan, but Sheridan can't get too far past the line of scrimmage. No gain, it'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, starting left guard Jared Johnson's actually out for the game. You can see him down there in shorts right now with his helmet off. So they have their entire offensive line is underclassmen right now.
Replaced by Tyrese King, the freshman. Sheridan, the running back, once again. Platooning well with Miles Grant as Sampson looks to the right side to pass. JoJo Spann has it in the end zone. Touchdown, Braves.
It's a great back shoulder pass. The defensive back wasn't even looking for the ball.
Quick little curl from Spann, and the Braves are on the board only 1 minute into the half. 20-6, the Braves get to it. 2 plays. 4 yards, started by the interception from Trayvon Gibson. And now here's Nate Williams to attempt the PAT. He was 5 for 5 last year in relief for Matt Davis. Let's see what he's got now. Snap is back, the ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 20-7, the Braves have made themselves known.
You gotta start somewhere.
Gotta start somewhere. I think that's a good way to start.
Yeah, going back to the injury for Jared Johnson, I'm not sure. Was he divulged to me earlier this week? He was still in the concussion protocol. So I don't know if that was, the thing that may have, taken him out of the game, or it may have been something else. Offensive linemen sometimes you get rolled up. It could be an ankle, it could be a knee.
Especially with the pressure and let's be honest, beating the offensive line has been having to take this game. The pressure that's been on Dominic Sampson has been continuous.
Yeah, and it's gonna hurt that young unit not to have their veteran out there.
(20-7), Braves still trail, but only a minute gone here in the second quarter. No way ever you can say you're down and out after that.
It's not over until it's over.
Special teams back out onto the field now. Nate Williams getting plenty of work after not seeing an inch of it during the first half. Kickoff earlier to the 9-yard line, a PAT converted. Now he's got another one incoming. Kennard Brown back to return along with Jahiz Linebarger. Williams has his steps, ball where he likes it on the near hash of the 35, and he's on his way. The kick is up. It's a low one, but a laser. End over end picked up by Brown at the 6-yard line. He's taking it in between the numbers. Tackle made, ball nearly came loose, but the Braves are able to make a big stop. A late flag flies in from the back judge, and another from one of the main referees on either side of the field. We'll have to see what this is. I can't be too sure.
Yeah, it was a bit of a skirmish on the other side of the field away from the play.
Brian Staten made the tackle special teams-wise, but which way are potentially both of these flags going to be going?
It was a great tackle going back to the play.
It was. Got the feet.
And got the ball out, actually. Yeah. If it wasn't for the returner falling back on the ball, that might be a ball going UNCP's way.
Doesn't seem to be that they will be giving it to the Braves. But both of those penalties are going against Winston-Salem State. That's going to knock them all the way back from the 21 to the 11. The past four drives from Winston-Salem State have started inside the 15-yard line.
That's why special teams matter.
That's some good special teams work right there. In the I formation, Tinsley under center, snaps around, hands it off. Carry-on Moore has an opening. Across to the 20, to the 25. He's tripped up and knocked down. Trayvon Gibson is getting some excellent plays under his belt as there is an injured Ram on the field. Looks to be an offensive lineman, perhaps?
Yeah, it's an offensive lineman.
Trying to hobble, but he's back down onto his stomach. The right leg, it seems to be, of this offensive lineman. Potentially. You said Donald Baggett's already gone. It looks to be Justin Martinez. Or maybe even Brandon Woodard, the backup left tackle. Standing up now? No, neither. That's Kevin Ward. Left tackle, senior out of Raleigh. Moving fine, it seems, just a little animated after that one.
Sometimes offensive linemen, when you get rolled up on, you may be thinking it's one thing, until you get up and walk around a little bit, put some weight on it, and then you figure out it's not as bad as it seems.
13:41 left to go here in this third quarter. Braves trail by 2 touchdowns. It's 1st and 10 after the 14-yard run from Carry-On Moore.
Great spin move on that run, too.
That was. They really know how to work the outside of the defensive line. Same formation now. 2 receivers on the near side. The give is faked to Moore as Tinsley looks to pass, and he's going deep downfield. Nearly picked off and just tipped away out of the hands of Bakembe Carney. Will Walton, the intended receiver. Walton was turned around. Carney wasn't able to make the play.
Walton played great defensive back on that play, though.
He did. He made the adjustment fast.
Defensive back, when you get a pick like that, you got to secure the ball quickly because you know that the offensive player is going to be trying to swat that ball away and try to take it back from you. So,
Carney with 32 tackles, 4 pass breakups last season. That was his second today. 13 and a half left to go here in this third quarter. Blitz incoming as Moore is met in the backfield on the give, and the Braves have a tackle for loss. What a play. Tajay Lyles, the junior defensive end out of Charlotte, making the stop.
That's the kind of blackout defense that you want to see.
That's exactly what you want to see. You got to assume there were some heated words said in the locker room to turn this team around.
It's a very prideful group. They take a lot of pride in their defense.
3rd and long now for the Rams. Braves an opportunity now as Winston-Salem State is only shooting 50% on their 3rd down conversions.
That was great penetration, though, by a defensive line and the linebacking core.
Andre Hodge, the transfer from Eastern Illinois University, in as a blocker as this one is a late give to carry on Moore. He's wrapped up by the defensive line and brought down after only a gain of 5. What a phenomenal play. Amari Bryce Green contributing on the tackle with Colton Weeks, and that'll bring out the punting unit for Winston-Salem State.
You can feel the momentum shift in the stadium right now.
It's really starting to move. The clouds rolling in, the sun's starting to go away a little bit. Hopefully the rain doesn't come back. We had drizzles early on. Maybe the Braves can capture a little lightning in a bottle. Kevin Jacobs to punt it away. JoJo Spann to return it. Jacobs lined up at his own 50. Face high snap as a flag comes in. Who is this on?
Who's false starter on the punting team?
Looks to be. Good break for the Braves as defensive penalty in that aspect would have given the Rams a first down. So instead of 4th and 4, it's 4th and 9. Now at the 30, or rather at the 28-yard line for Winston-Salem State. Clock starts back up, 12:20 left to go. A 20-7 game in favor of Winston-Salem State.
For now.
High snap over the back of the punter into the end zone in pursuit of the Braves. This is going to be a safety. Picked up by the Braves. It's a touchdown.
Yes.
Incredible. I don't even know what to say about that one.
Special
Jordan
teams
Howard,
matter.
the linebacker, has made it 20-13.
And just like that, it's a game.
Shades of Michigan State. And suddenly we have a ball game.
Special teams pinned them back, and special teams got the touchdown.
Special teams with the opportunity to make it a 6-point game right now as Nate Williams comes in to attempt his 2nd PAT of the game. The snapper is Ryan Watkins. The holder is Austin Foley. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up. The kick is blocked. Could be returned for 2. Picked up by the Rams. Bobbled. The Braves are trying to go for it, and they pick it up at the 30, luckily enough. Whew. Too much excitement for one series of plays, Josh.
Oh, yeah. The guy who got the block, he was looking towards the end zone before he secured the ball.
That was the issue.
Can't scoop and score without the ball.
DeAndre Blevins, the defensive back, saw the open field in front of him, and he thought he had 2 free points.
A little too overzealous.
I don't blame him for that. Who would blame him for that?
The coach?
Coaching staff.
The coach.
Well, we got our answer here in the press box. Coaching staff got a little bit heated. Either way, still a 7-point game on a quick 13-point swing for the Braves. Interception turned into a touchdown on a 4-yard pass to JoJo Spann. And a fumble recovery by Jordan Howard. 13 points on 2 turnovers that the Braves have caused.
But you know, that's what it takes. You know, when offense is lacking, you need the other 2 units to pick up the slack. And they've done that, and then some.
So after not working for the entirety of the first half, Nate Williams has come out to kick the ball off twice, attempt 2 PATs. He's 1 for 2 on them. And now he's back out to kick the ball off a 3rd time, and we're not even 3 minutes into this 3rd quarter.
And not his PAT wasn't really missed. It was more of a block. The defense got a lot of pressure on the collapsing the right side of the offensive line.
I'm not saying it's anything on him. I'm just pointing out the amount of work he's gotten in such a short amount of time.
You know what? That's a good thing. I'd rather the kicker get more work than the punter.
For a guy like him, having to replace Matt Davis, no matter who you are, you got to get work to live up to that hype. Yeah. Kennard Brown again back to return alongside Jahiz Linebarger. End over end, picked up by Linebarger at the 5 on the near hash. He's got plenty of open ground. The Braves in pursuit, but Linebarger hurdles a man at the 30 and flies to the 35 before being brought down by Michael Clark. That was a good return. Credit where it's due. 12:05 left to go here in the third quarter. Braves trail by a touchdown. Two straight defensive turnovers brought in for scores. And that defensive line has something to celebrate about right now.
Oh, but best believe. They're getting a lot of pressure right now, even on that almost interception. They hit the quarterback on that play, straight collapse in the pocket. So hopefully we see more of that this drive.
The heavy package in the I formation with Carrion Moore and Andre Hodge. This is a give to Moore. He fights through the defensive line and just barely gets pulled down on a shoestring by one of the secondary men. That looks to be Cameron Williams, the linebacker. That'll be a gain of about 8 and bring up second down just at the 43-yard line. 20-13 Braves trail with 11:45 left to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, you really want to see more contained from this blackout defense right now. I mean, the Braves really gotta pinch those corners on the edge of the offensive line to stop those outside runs.
Hodge and Moore the backs, about 3 yards deep. Tinsley under center. Hodge in motion to the opposite side. The give to Moore. Right at the line of scrimmage. What a meet, but it looks like the defensive lineman is down. Is that Tajay Lyles? No, he's back up. Close one from Lucas Brim.
Wow, completely stoned in the backfield. The guy ran into a straight wall on that play.
I think the defensive line has found their footing.
Oh, best believe that.
What did you say?
They're getting that traction. They're getting pushback right now. They're getting penetration, pushback, and they're really starting to take over this game right now.
Wonder how much of this could be contributed to the slight injuries that have been sustained by the offensive line for Winston-Salem State. Hard snap coming, but didn't take as Winston-Salem State looks back to the sidelines now. Rod Tinsley looking for a new play call from the offensive coordinator, John Etter. This one a give, carrying Moore on the far side. Wide open hole, met in the backfield, still on his feet, brought down by Trayvon Gibson, who's having heck of a defensive day. It's a gain of about 30, though, into Braves territory to make it 1st and 10.
Once again, that outside run, they really gotta stroke those edges of the defense right now.
The speed on Carrion Moore, though, incredible. Sophomore season last year, 157 carries, just over 1,000 total yards on the ground.
He hits the hole so fast. He's slow through, quick through. That's how you get a good running game.
This one a give to Xavier Quick as Moore is out of it. Quick tackle after about a 5-yard gain. Cyrus Stonback, the transfer from North Carolina Central, is able to make the play after about a 6-yard gain. Just under 10 to go. Braves trail by 7 here in the third quarter. It's 2nd and 4 on their own 31-yard line. Rams moving the ball at a much faster pace than they have for a majority of the last 15 minutes of play. Quick and Hodge the backs. Tinsley under center. Split wide receiver as the Braves look to bring the blitz. It's a play action pass. Rolling out is Tinsley. He's looking deep downfield. Open is Quick. Incomplete. Flags fly in. Looks to be pass interference on the Braves.
He didn't turn and look for the ball.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, when you don't do that, it's a flag every time. All you gotta do is turn your head and look for, or at least make a play on the ball, not just throwing your hands up and you won't get the flag. But you don't even turn and look for the ball. Receiver makes plays for the ball to PI every time.
The defense, number 18, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Michael Clark, the redshirt freshman. You're a Braves fan. That's one of the times where you're thankful that it's college pass interference and not NFL, because that would be
spot foul in the end zone they place it at the 1.5 yard line.
It'd be a play at the 1. Instead, it's only a 15-yard penalty, but it still puts the Rams in the red zone. 1st and 10 now from the Braves 16-yard line. 9:19 left to go here in the third quarter. Single setback. Andre Hodge in motion. He lines up behind Tinsley under center. The give to Xavier Quick. Met at the line of scrimmage. He's wrapped up as a quartet of Braves pile onto him. Tackle initially started by T.Y. Hinton.
The linebackers right now are showing great penetration running through the line of scrimmage.
Seems to be the defensive line is giving them time to do so.
I mean, that's what you want to see from defensive line. You want your defensive line to give your linebackers range to roam. To fire through the holes, make the tackles.
To read the play as best as they can.
Yes, sir.
8:48 left to go here in the third quarter. 7-point deficit for the Braves.
I'm wondering if the UNCP defense is gonna start bringing the safety down into the box to help, with the outside run.
Carrying Moore back into the game now. Empty on the near side. Where are they going with it? Tinsley rolling out to the near side, looking to pass. T.Y. Hinton heavy in pursuit, but Tinsley escapes it to the 10. He's taken it himself and rolls out at the 7. A flag comes in after the fact. Another one as well, even later. There's going to be some extracurricular pushing and shoving after this, and that will most likely contribute to the flag. Here's the call. Looks to be that the head official's mic is going out, but it was a block in the back on the Winston-Salem Rams. And that gives Pembroke a little bit of breathing room after that big run from Rod Tinsley. That'll keep it second down and now 10 after the end of the play. So it'll make it 2nd and 10 at the 16-yard line for Winston-Salem State.
Defense is applying good pressure right now, making the quarterback roll out of the pocket. I mean, you don't want to see him turn upfield and gain yardage, but at least he's not stagnant in the pocket and cutting up defense.
This one a handoff to Carry-On. Moore fights through an opening, but barely brought down by the shoestrings. Amari Bryce Green saved a touchdown as Moore flew by. Incredible. Makes it 1st and goal at the 4. Just under 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Braves trail by 7. Winston-Salem State is threatening to increase that lead. They look to the sidelines for a new play call. 17 to go on the play clock. They've got time to work with. Carrion Moore is the lone back as Tinsley is under center. Puts a man in motion. That's the wide receiver, Will Walton. The handoff is to Moore. Fights through an open hole, but doesn't get much. The defensive line collapses on him, and Cyrus Stonback, the junior, makes the play.
Crushing blow by Stonback on that play.
He's really stepping up. Didn't get much playing time during that first half, but the junior transfer is really making his presence known here in the third.
It's always great to have a nice little stout run stuffer in the middle of that defense.
That's exactly what he is. And in respects to this defensive line, 6'1", 295 pounds. He's short, but he's got the power. He's got the power.
That's what you need.
7 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Braves trail by 7. Andre Hodge back into the game along with Carrion Moore. Tinsley under center. Single wide receiver on the near side. The give is faked as Tinsley looks to roll out and take it himself. Has an opening to the corner. Met by double Braves and knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. And guess who's there? Trayvon Gibson, the corner, making another big play. Makes it 3rd and goal at the 1. 6:25 left to go here in the third quarter. This could be a turning point come the end of the game.
Hold them to none or to 3. Don't give up 6.
All depends on the defense here. Tinsley under center has it to give to Moore on a sweep. He's in the end zone, touchdown. Moore's one of those guys that if you ask him for a yard, he's going to give you a yard any time of day.
You're not going to get him with shoestring or arm tackles. You really got to push that guy back.
Not much more you can say about it. 26-13, Braves now trail with 6:04 remaining here in the third quarter. A 1-yard rush from Carrion Moore to cap off a 10-play, 65-yard drive that spanned 6 minutes and exactly 1 second to make it 26-13. Special teams units swapping in and out as Daniel Rivera looks to nail the PAT. He's 2 for 3 on the day. Chris Sharper is the long snapper. As the snap is high, but the ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. The holder, Kevin Jacobs, was able to make the play. 27-13. 27-13, Braves trail. 6:04 left to go.
For a running back, is only 5'9" and under 200 pounds. Carrion Moore really runs behind his pads with a lot of power.
Word from our sponsor, folks. Ever wonder why Lumberton Chevy Buick Cadillac GMC has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevrolets, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUVs and trucks. They have everything from budget vehicles to the top-of-the-line Cadillacs. So I would just stop anywhere else. Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They're located right next to Lumberton High School in Lumberton. Special teams back out into the field now after the 10-play, 65-yard drive for Winston-Salem State, making it a 14-point game once again. Braves had 2 straight scoring drives on 2 straight turnovers forced. An interception brought to the 4-yard line by Trayvon Gibson. And then a fumble recovery on a botched punt by Colton Weeks. Made it a fairly exciting 3 minutes for the Braves.
Sure did.
Daniel Rivera back to kick it away, has the ball where he likes it between the hash marks of the 35-yard line. Back to return, Michael Clark and JoJo Span. Rivera on his way, and the ball is on its way. End over end. It's a bit of a short one. Span picks it up at the 14-yard line. He's got some room to make a play. Carries out to the far sideline. Across the number now, but a block is missed. And he's pushed out of bounds on that play by number 85, Jonathan Bryant, the tight end for Winston-Salem State. Just under 6 minutes left to go here in the third. 27-13, Braves trail.
I thought JoJo had a little more daylight than he initially took on that play, but
I think it's all about your motto of north to south. Slow down a little bit to go east and west and get across the numbers before he was able to turn up and build the speed.
Yeah, that's what they tell you at the next level and even at the high school level. Get your feet in the ground, turn north and south. Don't do a lot of dancing around. Everybody can be LaShawn McCoy.
19-yard return for Span, and it makes it 1st and 10 for Sampson as a free play is incoming as he whips it out to the far side. Nearly a fantastic catch from the wide receiver JoJo Grant, but either way, it's a free 5 yards as one of the Winston-Salem State Rams took a step too early.
Actually, if he would have made that catch, it would have been Odell Beckham-esque. And the funny thing is that receiver, what is his name?
JoJo Grant.
JoJo Grant actually has the same hairstyle as Odell Beckham, and people on our campus call him Odell.
Oh, gosh. That would just feed an ego.
Oh, yeah. Who you telling?
5:51 left to go here in the third quarter. 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Miles Grant back in at a running back position alongside Robert Beecham, the fullback. 2 wide receivers on the near side. Sampson has it, fakes the give to Grant, looks to pass, pocket collapsing. He slings it downfield, but it's well overthrown of Quay Threat, the redshirt sophomore out of Monroe, North Carolina. Threat just had a little more speed. That would have been a touchdown.
Actually, he was held up by defensive back way downfield. I'm surprised I didn't see a flag on that play.
Well, it depends on the timing and where the eyes of the referees catch up.
Yeah, Pizzazz probably in the backfield.
5:44 left to go here in the third quarter. Braves looking to get back on the board. Put up 2 scores quickly, only 3 minutes into the second half, and they've yet to score in now 10 minutes. This one a give to Miles Grant from Sampson. He's moving on to the near side, tries to get a block, but doesn't really have one. A little bit of confusion as to what was coming there from E.J. Williams. Grant only able to pick up about 1 yard as he's wrapped up and taken down by a trio of Rams, including J. Ron Rankin, the junior out of Reedsville, North Carolina.
If they would just give, Miles some holes to run through, he could really just break this game wide open for the offense.
Well, you can see how the running game has progressed and evolved as this game has progressed, is that Grant tried to go through the middle, tried to go north to south, but now he's starting to be forced to go east and west on a lot of these running
Without
plays.
Jared in the middle at left guard, you really can't run up the middle right now.
3 receivers on the far side, but Grant is on the near. Perhaps they'll be going to him. Instead, it's a pass play. Sampson looking down. It's complete for a first down, making it across the sidelines. Shaman Hicks. He makes it across midfield, and he's knocked down at the 45-yard line. An excellent reception from Hicks, and the Braves move the chains.
He put a nice move on the defender, too, to shake loose and turn upfield and get some more yards.
Terrell Fleming, the quarterback, with the stop, and I think he got back and was able to make a shoestring tackle as Shaman Hicks was slowing up and trying to get the footwork going. 4:50 left to go here in the third quarter. 27-13 Braves trail, swapping out a few of the receiving core as Hicks takes a step off and Jalon Nixon, the sophomore out of Durham, steps on. 1st and 10 for the Braves at the Rams' 45-yard line. They're on the far hash, just a shade above the Bravehead logo at midfield. It's getting quite faded now after being painted on just 2 days ago. In the shotgun with Miles Grant, putting a man in motion. That's E.J. Williams. Fakes the handoff. The ball is loose. The Rams recover. There's a fight for it. It looks to be, though, that it will be in favor of Winston-Salem State. They're going through it. Who's got it? It was a botched handoff to Miles Grant. Coming up with it for Winston-Salem State was Jarrell Bright, the defensive end. Or are they saying the play was dead before that? They are. Looks like they're saying that Sampson came up with it and had a knee on the ground. But I don't think he fully had control of it.
Yeah, sometimes when you have the receivers running the double motion, you might get a botched handoff with those things.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 13, a loss of 3 on the play. Sampson not going with a handoff, looking for a quick pass and finds an opening for Quay Aaron Whitaker is barely able to dive in and make the play. Not even back to the original line of scrimmage, however. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Nice effort play by the receiver.
Even if it is a short gain, laying out for something like that, that shows commitment. Redshirt sophomore from Fayetteville, North Carolina, really showed himself there. 3rd and 11 now, 3:30 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Robert Beecham and Miles Grant in the backfield alongside Dominic Sampson in the gun. Relaying the play to his offensive line, 2 receivers on the far side, 1 in the near. It's 3rd and long. Sampson claps. He has it. It's a low snap. He backs up 3 steps, looking to pass. Pocket collapses. He escapes. He's taking it himself. Tries to get it across the line of scrimmage. Has a block. Escapes a defender. Hurdles a man. And just gets past the 40-yard line. Not enough for the first down. Makes it to the 39 as a flag comes in. Some pushing and shoving after the play. If the Braves get lucky on this one, they could have a first down.
It was a great effort by the quarterback on that play. Dominic really tried to stretch out for that. A little bit of Michael Jordan-esque, trying to stretch out for that first down.
Redshirt freshman out of Cary, North Carolina, went to Panther Creek High School, and he's got the length to do so. 6'5" frame. He wants to make it work. He can. Let's see what this call is. Looks like the official might not be able to change his microphone battery. Goes against Pembroke Braves.
I believe he said it was a dead ball foul against the Braves, so probably happened after the play.
Seemed to be when the flag came in, and instead of a 4th and 2, that'll make it 4th and 17, so a 15-yard penalty. So you can assume personal foul. So with just under 3 minutes left to go, Braves trailing by 14, and they'll have to bring in the punting unit. But this might be the time to go for it. Clock picks back up. Dominic Sampson looking to the sideline out on the field, and we've got a whistle. Braves are forced to take a timeout. (27-13), Braves trail. 2:50 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a short break, and we come back. Braves have a decision to make. We'll see what they make when we return. This is the Braves Media Network.
The Esther G. Maynard Honors College at UNC Pembroke offers driven students an advanced learning community to live, learn, and grow together while on campus. Our scholars not only take specialized honors courses as part of their general curriculum, but also enjoy regular co-curricular events on and off campus with access to opportunities exclusive to Honors College members. Find out more about our Maynard Honors College and our scholarships today.
The PBC is commitment.
The PBC is community.
The PBC is competition.
The PBC is character. We are the PBC.
Alongside Josh Reed, I'm Matt Sabanis here on the Braves Media Network. Folks, thanks as always for joining us. We look forward to being with you for the 2017 season. The Braves looking to get it started with a W, but they've got to put up 14 points in the meantime. Coaching staff getting a little animated here in the press box as the Braves are forced to punt it away after a penalty on what would have been 4th and 2 makes it 4th and 17. Isaac Parks gets a low snap, steps up and boots it away. Kennard Brown signals a fair catch as soon as it hits the foot and steps up to the 17-yard line to haul it in. Before we get back to the play-by-play, let's get a word from our sponsors. Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 UNC Pembroke varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all of its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for our student athletes. Out comes Rod Tinsley once again. He hasn't done much this half. 6 for 17 overall this half, but he hasn't gained a single yard. 0 for 3 as the half has gone on. They're relying on the running game with Carrion Moore. This one is another give to him. Nearly met in the backfield. Al-Falamin couldn't make the stop, and it's a 5-yard gain as the secondary is able to get to him. Khalil Vance contributing on the tackle with that one alongside Colton Weeks.
Yeah, a bit over pursuit by Al-Falamin. He kind of overshot the play on that one.
And that happens sometimes. If you're one of those speedier defensive ends, which Al-Falamin is, you'll get lost in the play.
The coaches would tell you, do not overrun the play. You know, stay in your lane, contain your man.
Clock continues to roll here in the third quarter. 2 minutes left to go as the Braves trail by 14. Rams deep in their own territory, but it's 2nd and 4. There's one a pass from Rod Tinsley, low and nearly caught by Quincy Jackson, but it bounced before he could roll in. Amari Bryce Green on the coverage. That'll bring up 3rd down and a crucial 3rd down opportunity for UNC Pembroke. The Rams were initially 3 for 3 on their 3rd down conversions. That ended up being 3 for 6 down the line. Now they're 5 for 9 as this game has progressed. This is a big one now. 3rd and 4 on the 22. 2 minutes left to go as the hard count doesn't take. Rams look to the sideline for a new play call. They're trying to get to the 26. Xavier Quicken is a running back. Andre Hodge in motion. This one faking the give as Tinsley looks to take it himself, rolls out to the near side and steps out of bounds before he can pick up the 1st down. Beautiful pursuit from the cornerback, Trayvon Gibson. I've said it before, I'll say it again, he is having a heck of a day.
Oh, yes, he is for sure. I mean, keep it contained on the quarterback, making plays on the ball, running stride for stride with the receivers. He's just all over the field today.
5 tackles for Gibson, 1 tackle for loss, and the interception that led to the first score of the game for the Braves. 4th and 5 now as Tinsley wasn't able to get back to the line of scrimmage. JoJo Spann back to return, only 3 yards deep into his own territory. The last time Kevin Jacobs was out to punt, it was over his head. This one he hauls in just above. Calling for the fair catch? No. JoJo Spann hauls it in, takes 3 steps back and gets pulled down. A misguided attempt there as the tackle was made by Miguel Quinn for Winston-Salem State. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Braves, a yard into their own territory. 27-13, Braves trail. 1 minute 30 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Braves have used only 1 timeout. Winston-Salem State has yet to use one of their own. 1st and 10 from the 49. Sampson out in the shotgun. Josh Sheridan, his running back. 2 receivers on the far side. 4-man rush incoming from the Rams. High snap, chest high. The give, fake to Sheridan. Play action, caught! And a 1st down. Or no, just 9 yards.
Almost there.
Counting your chickens before they hatch, Josh. Counting your chickens before they hatch. Desaiah Eller, the wide receiver, with the reception. It'll be 2nd and 1.
It was a great catch by the receiver holding onto the ball after that hit to the back.
Great vertical. Great vertical.
Yeah, he got up there.
If only he could have made me right and gotten that extra yard. This one, a fake and a handoff onto the far side. So I'm a new running back in the game. It's Brian Staten. 4th player to get a touch on the ground from UNC Pembroke.
Some nice
he was
hard
able
running.
to pick up the 1st.
Some nice hard running. You like to see a guy like when you situation awareness. When you know you need to get the 1st down, you got it.
Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Chest high snap, looking to pass with Staten as an extra blocker. Could have been pass interference there as that one just got underneath the hands of the wide receiver JoJo Grant.
I thought it was definitely pass interference. The DB was tough in his hand in his hip pocket. I didn't. Okay.
Tyrell Fleming, the sophomore out of Newton, North Carolina, with the coverage. It'll be 2nd and 10. Clock stops at 34 left to go here in the third quarter. Braves still trail by 14. Swapping out a couple of wide receivers. Jalen Nixon, the sophomore out of Durham, into play now. Alongside E.J. Williams, and still with JoJo Grant. Here's the snap, the handoff onto the far side. That's, once again, Brian Staten can only get about 3 yards on the far side off the tackle before he's wrapped up and brought down by Kalen Chavis, the linebacker out of Charlotte. Braves have a chance here if they want to go for the first before the quarter expires. 15 seconds left with 30 on the play clock. And looks to be Dominic Sampson is eyeing it and just wants to say, let's run it out. Head coach Shane Richardson looking a little animated as Sampson backs up. They're sending another wide receiver into the mix now. That's Corey West. And finally, the offensive coordinator, Johnny Cox, just says, forget it. Let's go into the fourth quarter. So we'll switch sides. Braves trail by 14 with the final 15 on the clock when we return. Matt Sabatis and Josh Reed here with you. We'll be right back in just a few seconds on the Braves Media Network.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
The University of North Carolina at Pembroke was founded in 1887 by American Indians to provide education to the local community to ensure a pathway to success. Today, we're part of the world-renowned University of North Carolina system, but the spirit of our founding still guides us. Our strong academics are exemplified by standout programs in education, athletic training, business, and nursing, and by students working with professors on groundbreaking research. Explore the brave spirit.
Back in on the Braves Media Network, first play of the fourth quarter, a decent run from UNCP as they get Josh Sheridan out to the sideline, able to pick up a new set of downs just inside the 30-yard line. Carrion Moore, an astonishing third quarter, 10 carries, 68 yards on the ground. That really makes up for Rod Tinsley's struggles, went 0 for 4 with an interception in the air in the third quarter. Braves are going to look to try and get back within one touchdown as they trail by a pair. Sampson looking for a quick pass, gets it away, and just met across the line of scrimmage is E.J. Williams. He fights for a few more. Looks like he might have picked up the first down. They'll move the chains. 14-20 left to go as there's a Brave down on the field. E.J. Williams had gotten up and he went back down, getting assistance with that left leg, potentially something with his hamstring, I'd say.
Yeah, sometimes when you get involved in the pile-up, some ankles and knees might get twisted down there.
As we said, that was E.J. Williams after his 10-yard reception, putting the Braves in the red zone. 14 minutes, 19 seconds left to go in this ballgame. It's been a fast one. We started at 3 o'clock. It's only 5:10 here in North Carolina. They had to move this game ahead from the 7 o'clock kickoff that it was initially slated for due to the impending threat of rain. But the sun is just now poking out, I'd say for the first time since the first quarter, Josh.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Hopefully the sun's shining on this offense right now.
That's all we can ask for at this point. Williams being helped off the field. Helmet off, but he's going under his own power. Sped a little bit, but back to walking. 14-19 left to go here in the ballgame. Braves trail by 2 touchdowns. They're threatening in the red zone. Last year, they were 82% accurate on their trips inside the 20. 36 for 44, but thanks to Matt Davis, only 17 of those were touchdowns. This one a give on the near side to Josh Sheridan. Can't get past the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 after the tackle made on that play by Pat Green, the linebacker, hometown of Winston-Salem.
You know, actually, the receiver, E.J. Williams, looked like he just hyperextended his knee right there. You can see him down there on the field stretching.
At least that's not as serious.
Yeah, at least that one you can come back in the game for, but, you know.
This is a team that's been plagued with injuries before, and The short amount of depth that they have to deal with in this one is not very helpful. Sampson, three-step drop back to pass, throws it away as a flag comes in. Could be an eligible receiver downfield. Did he even get across the line of scrimmage, though? Or potentially holding. Looks like they're pointing at maybe one of the offensive linemen as the pocket collapsed on that play. The head official is looking over to the sideline for Winston-Salem State, so you'd assume it's holding.
Yeah, Dominic had nowhere. He couldn't step up. He couldn't sidestep or anything in that play.
Yep, there you go, holding. So that's on the backup right guard, Tyrese King, as Cameron Hodges, as we mentioned, the redshirt freshman out of Kannapolis, had to be taken out due to injury. So just another issue for the Braves to have to work around. Holding being a 10-yard penalty knocks them all the way back to their own 25, or the Rams 25, I should say. It's 2nd and 19. Quick little bubble screen out to the near side, picked up by Joe Leake. He's got a little bit of room, but he's shoved out of bounds at about the 23, making about a 4-yard gain. Pat Green again with the tackle for Winston-Salem State. You can see on the sidelines how Nate Williams is trying to warm up his leg. He could be called upon after this next play.
See, EJ's back in the game. See, hyperextension. See, he's right back in there.
He'll be lined up as a slot on the far side. Next to Tazea Eller, it looks. Sampson has it. Two-step drop back, quick pass out of the far side, tipped up and broken up. Intended receiver on that play was JoJo Grant, and he didn't have much of a chance. Darius Skinner breaking up the play, and they'll have to rely on Nate Williams with his first attempt of a field goal this season. Looks like we have a timeout incoming. Or medical. There's a ram down on the field, hidden by one of the media folks on the sidelines here at the Pembroke side of things. So
it was the same defensive back that made the break on the ball that's down right now.
Looks to be. Just under 13 minutes left to go here in this ball game. Braves trail by a pair of touchdowns, and they've got 4th and long. They'll have to rely on Nate Williams to see if he can nail a 39-yard field goal.
And most Brave fans are used to considering that automatic.
39 yards is something that Matt Davis did in his sleep. Just listen to the numbers on Matt Davis. 39 attempted PATs last year, only missed 1. 27 for 32 on his field goals. 6 of those field goals were from 50 yards or more. And he only attempted 7 from that distance.
That's why they call him Money Matt Davis.
It's absurd to me. Only a few teams can be so lucky to have a player like that. DeAndre Blevins, the cornerback, was the injured player. He's off the field under his own power. And he's just headed over to the trainer's table to get worked on. Snap is back. The ball is down for the 39-yard field goal from the right hash. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Makes it a 9-point game, still in favor of Winston-Salem State. Or 11-point game, rather. I should know how to math at this point. I've been calling games for 4 years. I would expect to know the difference between 27 to 16 and 27 to 18. Either way, it's going to have to come down to the Braves' defense at this point. 10 plays, 30 yards on that drive, spanning only 3 minutes and 41 seconds, and a 39-yard field goal by Nate Williams.
And it's got to be a real confidence booster for the sophomore Nate Williams to nail his first field goal of the year.
Only had one opportunity at it last year, and it was from 24 yards out in relief of Matt Davis. And I'd say if I'm Nate Williams, I'm pretty proud of that fact.
He should be.
He probably is. He's coming back out on the field now to kick this one off. He'll be going from left to right.
He's got the leg. He's got to maintain the accuracy.
He does. Braves taking their time now. Kennard Brown back to return. Alongside now Deontay Jones. Braves in the huddle. They're taking their time. Black home jerseys, white numbering. No real trim. Black pants, white stripe on the sleeve, gold trim on that. But that's about it. Black helmet, white stripe across the middle with the Brave head on the side. Rams in their road whites. Red numbers, red pants, white stripe on the pants, say Winston-Salem. And this one, short little pooch kick. High, but just sails out of bounds at the 20-yard line, and there's a pounded table here in the press boxes. Special teams coordinators might not be too happy about that.
I don't understand the thinking behind that kick. He has the leg to just boot it to the end zone. I don't know why you would try to pooch it.
Seemed to be from the speed that the special teams unit was going on it. They were going to try and blow the play up as soon as a catch was made.
Like an elongated onside kick.
Yeah. So that'll bring out Rod Tinsley in the offense for Winston-Salem State once again. Now this is a quarter that Winston-Salem State has struggled in. Last season, the fourth quarter was when they scored the fewest points per season. That was only just under 7. While the Braves, the fourth quarter was their second best quarter offensively scoring, nearly 9 points per.
Yeah, this offense really flourished in the second half of games last year.
And after that penalty, the Rams have elected to replay the kick. So they'll back it up.
I don't understand that. I'd take the good field position. If you think your returner can do better for you, then go ahead.
We're in agreement here, man. Only backs it up 5 yards. Now Nate Williams will have an opportunity if he wants to pin it inside the 10, maybe inside the 5 if he has the leg. Try and avoid the touchback. So they re-huddle. Now the ball placed on the far hash of the 30-yard line. 5 yards pushed back after the flag. Still Kennard Brown and Deontay Jones to return the ball for Winston-Salem State. Williams is set. On his way. End over end. It's a short one. Lasering bouncing first at the 35. Just over the hands. Almost initially of Deontay Jones, and he takes it himself. Escaping a couple of defenders. Still on his feet. He's moving his way around. Splits another shoelace tackle. He's across the 40 to the 45, and finally pulled down. That was a scramble if I've ever seen one.
I guess the decision for re-kick, benefited in their favor anyways.
Amari Bryce Green with the stop for UNC Pembroke. 12:37 left to go here in the fourth quarter, as the Braves trail by 11. 1st and 10 after the second kickoff from the Braves' own, or from Winston-Salem State's own 46-yard line. Under center is Tinsley, the handoff on the near side to Carrion Moore, or rather, that's a new running back in the game. 5th one to get a touch today for Winston-Salem State, number 29, Pharrell Munchinson. He's met in the backfield and pulled down, looked to be the tackle made by Tajay Lyles. Contributed on the fact by Doc Copering III. That's a name.
Right.
That's a heck of a name. Doc Copering III. Let's see if he can contribute again. 2nd and 13 now after the play. Tinsley under center. Rolls back, hands off once again to Munchinson. He's met at the 45-yard line, back to the original line of scrimmage, but he's brought down by Amari Bryce Green. Not too much events going on through this one. Rams are trying to keep it on the ground, and reasonably so. They're up by 11. They want the clock to run.
It's good to see some domination in the trenches, but you want to see more consistency with that, too. Not just in the passing game, but also in the running game.
Injury timeout on the field looks to be Alpha Lamine. On the ground just at midfield. That's a hit to the team you don't want. Lamine, one of the few leaders, one of the few seniors on this team, named a team captain.
Might just be some cramping. It's kind of humid out here.
That's all you can hope for. Just from what I was seeing, nobody seemed to be too concerned. Lamine didn't seem to be in pain, just saying, hey, just get on out here, take a look at me.
Legs a little tight.
And that's understandable in game 1. That's something the coaches have been preaching, is that it's going to be a different monster. It's always a different monster out here. Practice, training camp, never the same as your first live game of a season.
I know the strength conditioning coach, because I have him as one of my professors. He stresses hydrating and conditioning all the time.
Lamine helped up, keeping weight off of his right leg.
Yeah, it's probably a hamstring.
Yeah, but he's going off under his own power. Has his water, and as he's getting off the field, looks like he's putting more and more weight on it with each step. So I'd be sure to hedge a bet that he'll be back before this game's over.
Yeah, it's probably just a little tight in the hips.
So Lamine out in his place is Lucas Brim, the redshirt junior out of Bulls Creek, North Carolina. 4-man front incoming from UNC Pembroke. 3rd and 9 with just under 12 to go here in the ball game. Tinsley rolling out, looks to pass. It's instead a draw for Carrion Moore. Shouldered and brought down. What a play from Colton Weeks. Incredible.
Punishing hit on that play.
The redshirt freshman making his presence known. 175 tackles as a high school senior. He's already got 7 here in his first game as a Brave.
That's incredible.
That brings up 4th and 8, and that brings out the punting unit for the Rams. Kevin Jacobs once again. 105 yards, only averaging 35 yards per punt. Gets this one away. A high spiral as the Braves gave it a chance. JoJo Span is going to give it a chance at returning. Met, shoulder, flag comes in as that looks to be a horse collar. Brought down on the play by one of the Rams, number 45, Chris Sharper, the tight end. I say horse collar now just from the look of it, but from this angle it could be something else. We'll have to see, but I would say assuredly it's on the Rams.
Yeah, sometimes when a guy tries to meet you with a stiff arm, your instinct gets to grab the back of the shoulder pad and try to bring him down.
Oh no, face mask. Either way, it is on the Rams. So I had the call mostly right, just on the opposite side of the body. 10:49 left to go here in the ball game. The Braves will have 1st and 10 at their own 43. They trail by 11. A 3 and out for Winston-Salem State. A fantastic stop from the defense. And it's 1st and 10. Sampson, empty backfield, rolling out to the left. It's a pitch inside, a great play, rolling up and getting about 6 yards on the carry for the Braves. Number 11, the running back, Quadrin Williams.
Great little shovel pass, little nifty shovel pass by Dominique on that play.
The only offensive captain on this team. Williams making it 2nd and 4. Empty backfield once again. Sampson claps. 3-step drop back. Looking to the near side. Steps up as the pocket collapses. He's met. Tries to escape it with a duck, but he's brought down for a sack. Pat Green, the senior from Winston-Salem, making his presence known once again.
I'm surprised that wasn't a hit to the head to the quarterback.
He looked like he got out of the way just in time. Good read from Sampson, but obviously with speed like that from Pat Green, you can't do much about it. There's a player down on the field for the Rams. It's just cramps galore out here. It's the humidity.
It's that humidity.
You said it so many times. It's the remnants of Hurricane Harvey at this point, coupled with just all of this southern heat. Not much you can do about it. Looks to be Miles Timmons, or no. Is that Pat Green?
Yes, Pat Green again.
It is Pat Green. Make a big play, go down with cramps. Can't have that most of the time. That's all we've been seeing this game.
Nope, and the coaches will scold you again. You should have been hydrating. That's the first thing they're going to say to him when he gets over to that sideline.
See a pat on the helmet and somebody tosses a water bottle in his hand. Called it.
Yep.
There it was.
There we go. There's the water bottle.
There it is. Alrighty, so it's 3rd and 7 after that tackle for loss. Sampson in the backfield with Miles Grant to his right side in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers set into a passing play. Sampson looking to the left. Pocket collapses once again. He sets up, gets it out to Grant. Grant one-on-one, escapes the pressure across midfield. Does he have the first down as he's pushed out of bounds? They say the clock runs. He's got it. Gain of 8, and the chains move.
It was a great little nifty move by Miles Grant on that play. Knowing where he is on the field, knowing he had to get the first down to continue to drive.
Good little screenplay. It was a screenplay and not just a
swing route.
Yeah. 9:20 left to go in this ball game. Braves still down by 11, but they've got 1st and 10 in Rams territory. This one another pass from Sampson. 0 time in the pocket, but finds a screen this time to Grant. He's to the 40, splits a defender, gets through another one, but now a quartet of Rams find him. Headlined that time by the linebacker Kyrell Williamson, the junior out of Kannapolis. Still a gain of 9, though. Makes it 2nd and 1.
Miles Grant ran a perfect arrow route on that play. I mean, just the angle of the cut and everything. Beautiful.
Grant had only 10 receptions last season, totaling just over 100 yards and 1 touchdown. That was his 4th reception today for 29 yards. He's doing fairly well.
Let's see if he can replicate the touchdown.
Low snap, Sampson bobbles it, picks it back up, and he's taking it himself. He's met at the line of scrimmage, tries to fight for it. Nearly lost the ball again and gets brought down. A broken play, a miscommunication, but he was just able to hold on. Eric Peartree, the sophomore out of our nation's capital, with the stop. Another player down on the field for Winston-Salem State. This is becoming an epidemic today.
Cramping is serious business.
Now are they calling this an official injury timeout?
So the second one on his drive now.
Yeah, are they charging this to anyone? No, it doesn't seem to be. It's on the defensive lineman, Miles Smith.
Yes, he's walking back to just the cramp.
He's been up and around for most of this game, in and out on a couple of key plays, but they'll bring back in Justice Smith, the hard sophomore from Charlotte. He's a big contributor to this team, and the Braves will need to find a way around the defensive line right now. 8:22 as the clock picks back up here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, the big boys tend to cramp the easiest.
Oh, I know that. I know that far too well.
You see Alpha down here stretching out his hamstrings, and they're still probably a little tight.
Sampson looking for a pass on the swing, instead steps up, and he's going to take it himself as the play breaks up. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage before he's brought down. J-Ron Rankin, the linebacker, with the tackle, brought together by Kyrell Williamson. And the Braves have a decision to make here. They trail by 11, only 7:50 left to go.
I'll go for it.
Clock continues. This is something you have to go for. They bring in Robert Beecham. They bring in Jaylon Nixon. It's going to be a passing play if Beecham's in as a fullback.
He's going to need extra time to complete this pass.
Josh Sheridan in as well. He's a great pass blocker. 4th and 1. Sampson with the hard count. Doesn't go. No flags. Braves sideline calling for it. The entire receiving corps swaps over. Sampson under center. Play clock is out. They need to call timeout. Braves had a close chance, but weren't able to capitalize. 4th and 1 remains. 6 plays, 21 yards this drive.
Although the sideline was adamant, what they got to understand there's a difference between jumping offside and the defense doing the regular shift that they've been doing all game.
So the decision will still need to be made at this point.
Oh yeah, you still got to go for it at this point.
That's the thing. 7:15 left to go. 27-16, Braves trail. Give you a reminder from our sponsors. When UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be part of the team as the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics. Led by Ortho Carolina, Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander, their specialist will cover every football and basketball game. For practice drills to kick off and tip off, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far. Braves back out in the huddle on this 4th and 1. Under center is Sampson. Does he go with the hard count? No, it's a QB sneak. He fights through, push from the offensive line, and they make it happen.
They weren't expecting that with 5 out wide.
I wouldn't either. I don't blame him.
Nor did I.
That moves the chains. 1st and 10 thanks to Sampson. Braves to the Rams' 34-yard line. They set back up now in the gun. Joe Leak, the running back now, to the right side of Sampson. It's a low snap. Rather Sheridan. They fake the give to him. I think it was a botched play as Sheridan looks back and wonders why he didn't have the ball. Sampson gets wrapped up after only about a 1-yard gain. Tyron Roberts, the nose guard, with the tackle.
And when you run out of option, you got to be decisive with it. Either you're going to give the ball, you can't pull it late.
2nd and 9 after the 1-yard gain. 6:22 left to go in the ball game. Sampson claps, has it, looks to pass, doesn't have much blocking as the pocket sets to collapse, and he slings it deep downfield. It's intercepted. No! Just bobbled out of the hands of Winston-Salem State's DeAndre Blevins. He had it, went to the ground, and it fell away. There's a flag in the backfield. Could be a late hit on the quarterback. Sampson looks frustrated, though, potentially holding. We'll see. And that is going to be on Winston-Salem State. Personal foul, and the Braves catch a break.
Hit to the head of the quarterback, I believe, was the call.
That's what it seemed to be.
Yeah, he did step up in the pocket and kind of release that one off his back foot. Luckily, it wasn't intercepted, but at least he got to draw the flag.
I was going to say, even if it was intercepted, still would be Braves ball at this point. So, and just as we were complimenting the weather a little bit ago, the dark rain clouds have poured in and brought a hard line of shade over Grace B. Johnson Stadium. The Braves, though, will try to light things up on the field. It's 1st and 10 in the red zone at the Rams' 18-yard line. In the shotgun with Joe Leak. Sampson looks to pass, instead hands it off. Leak has an opening and a blocker. He's on his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Pembroke. Joe Leak, his first touchdown of the season, and the Braves have brought it back within 6.
For a team missing their starting left guard, a huge hole opened straight up the middle, and he just ran the daylight.
I mean, potentially they didn't think they'd run there because the left guard went down.
Right.
It's all about the misdirection, you know.
It looked like a delayed handoff, too, or maybe even a shovel pass.
Seemed to be. The long snapper is Ryan Watkins. The holder is Austin Foley as Nate Williams is set to attempt the PAT. The snap is back. It's a little high. The ball is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. It's a 4-point game with 6 minutes left to go. 9 plays, 57 yards, spanning 4 minutes and 46 seconds, capped off by an 18-yard rushing touchdown from Joe Leak.
It's not over until it's over.
This game started with the Rams putting up the first 20 points. 40-yard touchdown run from Carrion Moore made it 7-0 in the first. Pharrell Munchin, a 3-yard touchdown run, made it 14-0. Kennard Brown, in the final seconds of the first half, a 73-yard touchdown reception, as the kick from Daniel Rivera missed on that PAT, made it 20-0. After that, the Braves put up 13 in just under 2 minutes' time, thanks to an interception and a fumble recovery on a botched punt. JoJo Spann had a 4-yard reception, and Jordan Howard picked up the fumble on the botched punt to make it 20-13. Carrion Moore had a 1-yard touchdown run later on in the third quarter, and it's been the Braves since. A field goal from Nate Williams, and now Joe Leak's 18-yard rushing touchdown to make it 27-23.
And just think, if they hadn't had that lapse in coverage at the end of the first half in the winning seconds, they'd be up right now.
This would be a Braves ball game right now. And you have to assume that that's going to be beaten to the heads of every player if this score stays the same. Williams looking for the squib, and it looks like it's headed to the sidelines. Bounces first to the 20, has a good roll, and just heads out of bounds at the 10. That was a close one, but it was a good read from the returning squadron of Josh White for Winston-Salem State. Now, what are the Rams going to do with this? Are they going to take the field position, or are they going to say that Williams has to kick it again?
I mean, it worked out for them last time with the re-kick, but
it looks like they're setting up to ask for a re-kick.
I still don't understand why he keeps kicking out of bounds or towards the sideline. I say you better chances kicking it down the middle.
I'm not going to try and get too deep into the coach's mind on stuff like that because I might get lost. But don't worry, we're in agreement on this one, Josh.
Yeah.
We're in agreement on this one. So Williams will reset the ball on the far hash of the 30-yard line as Kennard Brown is set to receive solo with Josh White about 5 yards ahead of him. White backs up a little bit, but Brown is set to receive it at the 17-yard line. Williams is headed over, taking his steps by himself. The Braves are still in their huddle. 27-23, UNCP trails. 6 minutes still left to go here in this Week 1 matchup. Braves have won the last 2 matchups against this Winston-Salem State team, who has and a formidable foe, not just against the Braves, but in NCAA Division II football in general. Here's Williams going with another squib, it seems. Rolling out to the near side, picked up by White at the 29, and he's going to take it up the sideline, wrapped up at the shoelaces and brought down at the 40. Not much of a return there. Michael Clark with the stop, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Winston-Salem State. Looks to be at their own 42. All depends on the official spot, but just under 6 minutes left to go. It'll be the 41. Military Appreciation Night here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium. A lot of great events. We were surprised that they actually brought in the airborne folks. There was initially slated to be a flyover and paragliders. They brought in the paragliders eventually. They didn't have the flyover, though, but surprising enough for the fans that were able to make it out here at Grace P. Johnson, and seats have actually filled in now that students have gotten out of classes. 1st and 10 at the Rams 41. Tinsley under center. He takes a snap, rolls out to give us to Carrion Moore. He's their workhorse, and this is why. Finds his way on a wide open drill to the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown Rams. All right.
Wow. Wow. Ugh.
He made that look easy.
That's the last thing you want to see.
Boy, did he make that look easy.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out where was the defense on that side of the ball. Wow, that entire side of the field seems to be vacated. No deep over safety or anything.
So back to a 10-point lead for Winston-Salem State on the run by Carrion Moore, and out comes Daniel Rivera to attempt another PAT.
Wow.
The snapper is Chris Sharper. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Braves took the 11-point lead down to 4. And one play later, 59-yard rushing touchdown from Carrion Moore made it 11 points once again. The officials are meeting at the end zone. Looks to be that there might be some concern as the clouds are getting a little more hectic. This game should be able to finish, though. See no reason why not. One play, 59 yards in that drive, only 11 seconds for Winston-Salem State. 5:47 left to go here in the ball game, 34-23. As the wind was immediately ripped from the Braves' sails. One more word from our sponsors, folks. Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation belongs to the members it serves. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run. And with members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions are made in your best interest, in the best interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? Members know they can trust Lumbee River EMC because it was created not to make profits, but to deliver on this promise, providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. These values represent the cooperative difference in how our co-op earns the trust of members every day. Daniel Rivera back in to kick off. Has it set between the hashes of the 35. Back to return is JoJo Span. And Span, or rather, that's Miles Grant taking. He steps over to the near sideline in between the hash and the number, and he gets a good return up to about the 35 before he's ripped down, and there's a fight for the ball. A helmet comes loose, and we've got a fight. Flag flies, and there's a lot of pushing and shoving. The sidelines start to clear a little bit, but the referees get in there quickly and start to clear up any sort of cruff.
I think I know what inspired the fight. There was a crushing block by one of the Brave up men on one of the one of the Winston-Salem defenders, and I'd get mad if somebody blocked me like that too.
That could have gotten rough, and it looks like Braves defensive coordinator Joe Ford is out there trying to calm the storm. Looks like they're saying the initial penalty is on Winston-Salem State. So that'll go in favor of the Braves, as much as it seemed that they were at least a part of that to a degree. Chains haven't moved yet, but it looks like they're ready to. This has just been a cutthroat game from both sides. It was Winston-Salem all the first half as the Braves were shut out. They brought it within 4, but one play later, 56-yard rush from Carrion Moore brought it back to an 11-point lead for Winston-Salem State.
believe it was linebacker Amari Bryce Green that made the block that incited the fight.
Well, either way, it benefited the Braves. Gave them 15 extra yards, makes it 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
Hopefully they can strike quickly.
Miles Grant, the running back, behind Dominic Sampson in the shotgun. Sampson claps once, has it now. Low snap, fakes the give, rolling out for the play action, looking back to Grant. Set goes deep with it, looking for Span. Out of his hands. Had it on the forearms and it bounced away. He had a proper curl to fake out the defender, Miguel Quinn.
Flag on the field.
Span couldn't make the play. As you say, a flag on the field just past the line of scrimmage as they're looking to the sidelines of Winston-Salem. So it's most likely on the Braves. Potentially a legal receiver downfield, yes. That's all you can assume, and that's probably on Miles Grant, you would assume, because he took off on that play action and probably got across the line of scrimmage without thinking about it. Fortunately for me, I was looking where the ball was, so doesn't always
sometimes with running backs, you just want to make yourself available to the quarterback unknowingly, knowing that you weren't eligible in that play.
Yeah. 5:30 left to go in this ball game. Braves trail by 11. 4 wide out spot coming from the Braves. Miles Grant, the running back, a 4-man front incoming from Winston-Salem State. This one's a pass, no a draw play, and Grant's met in the backfield, brought down for a 5-yard loss. That's going to make it 2nd and 20. That's a bad one to look ahead of you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to draw play with this inexperienced offensive line right now.
Tyron Roberts and Emil Smith, the defenders, making that tackle. Clock ticks, 5 minutes exactly coming up as this game is starting to come to a close. Braves need a score on this drive.
Quickly.
That's an understatement. 4 wide, 2 either side. Grant, the running back. Sampson to throw. To the left side, it's a laser. Picked up by Span. Not back to the original line of scrimmage, but he's across midfield with a couple of blockers. He's got 10 more across the 40 for a 1st down. That was athletic.
He was 1 jump cut away from breaking it. He could have still been running.
That is some athleticism as the coaches are starting to get fired up here in the press box. Looks like there's a ram down on the field. Potentially Pat Green again.
Somebody needs to get this guy a banana.
For real. They're going at the legs, and honestly, as a Brave, this is a timeout you take. Utilize it. They absolutely are. Getting the water out there, getting their breath in, and getting in the rest.
At this point, if I was the Winston-Salem athletic training staff, I'd just get him out of the game. Because with those cramps, you keep cramping up, you risk tearing a hamstring or a quad. So
impartially, and with the score as it stands, I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah. Why risk it?
Yeah. Only 2 plays this drive. The Braves have gone 26 yards. Most of them came on that 20-yard pass from Sampson to Span. Just a play ago, and
the beautiful run after the catch.
Absolutely. That was about a 3-yard pass and a 17-yard run. So Green is up. He's again moving by himself, but like you said, Josh, if I'm any of those athletic trainers, I'm saying, hey, you're sitting off for at least a drive.
I mean, it's the rest of the game, really.
Only 4 minutes, 43 seconds remaining.
The way they're running the ball, I'd be content with just sitting out the rest of the game.
Absolutely. 4-man front incoming from the Rams. This is a passing play as Grant looks for the ball. He has it. Sampson got to him, but it's only going to be about a 3-yard gain on that screen play. Brought down by the secondary, Kyrell Williamson. It'll be 2nd and 8.
The Braves really need to tempo up right now if they have any chance of getting back into this game.
I'm a big believer in just how important momentum is in these kind of games. Sampson slinging it deep. He's got a receiver, shedding the tackle, going for it. Down the line is Quay threatened. He's pulled down at the 21-yard line. Or rather, that was JoJo Grant. My mistake, but either way, a big passing play for the Braves. Puts them right at the edge of the red zone.
That was a great catch by JoJo Grant. I don't think he was expecting the ball on that play. You see, he kind of turned around a little bit late and caught the ball on the fly and made a guy miss and got upfield.
Grant did not have a single reception last year for the Braves, and he's now 2 catches, 20 yards. As Sampson looks to pass again, the pocket collapses. He has his jersey torn, and he's brought down. Consistency is the name of the game with the offensive line this season as Tyron Roberts contributes on that sack. fourth of the day for Winston-Salem State. The Braves have yet to get one themselves. We have a timeout on the field, the final of the day from your Pembroke Braves.
Yeah, part of that is the quarterback knowing that, you have an inexperienced offensive line. Sometimes you just got to get rid of the ball. I'd rather have a throwaway than eat a sack.
We haven't seen Sampson throw it away once this game.
Nope, it's he's a freshman,
That was going to be my next point. When you have a freshman quarterback like that, a lot of the times they're under pressure to not throw it away. They feel as though they have to prove that they can stay with it and find the receiver.
Most of them in high school, they were the guy that, if the play broke down, they just took off, or, they tried to make the play themselves. But
for Sampson, he was that guy in high school at Panther Creek in Cary, North Carolina. His senior year alone, nearly threw for 4,000 yards with 40 touchdowns.
Wow.
Those are some decent numbers. Some decent numbers. As this game has progressed, he's been picking up the numbers himself. He has passed Rod Tinsley, as a matter of fact. Tinsley has gone 0 for 4 this half. Hasn't attempted a pass this quarter even, as Dominic Sampson is throwing 23 for 32 with just under 175 yards. He's in the gun now with Miles Grant, looking to pass. Goes short with it, finds his man in E.J. Williams, and Williams just picks up the first down in double coverage. Momentum starting to gain. Darius Skinner with the stop for Winston-Salem State, but it's a new set of downs for the Braves. 3:30 left to go. No more timeouts for UNC Pembroke. Josh Sheridan is a running back. 3 wide receivers make it 4. Sampson looking to pass with the extra blocking, goes downfield, has his man in JoJo Span at the 10. Span holds on, and it's 1st and 10 at the 11.
Ooh, he climbed the ladder, went up and got it, and brought it back down. Took the hit and still kept on chugging.
And we brought it up earlier. Span is at the bottom rung of this receiving corps. 5'11". The only senior on this team is a wide receiver. And he's made a play or two. That's for darn sure.
That play was actually kind of Steve Smith-esque. You talk about shorter receivers.
I absolutely believe it. Span's 4th reception, now 59 yards on the day for him. He has an opportunity here, if they continue to target him, to pick up his 2nd touchdown of the day.
They got to score quickly on this drive.
It'll be a 2-minute drill if the Braves can get lucky.
Do you foresee an onside kick if they score?
They've tried the pooches before. I don't know. Low snap for Sampson. He's looking to the far sideline. It's caught. No, rolled out of the hands under double coverage. How close can you get? The intended receiver, JoJo Grant. On the coverage was DeAndre Blevins. He's had a great day defensively, the sophomore out of Selma, North Carolina. It's 2nd and 6 at the 6.
I know JoJo's going to want that play back. He had it right in his hands. Came down with it, but just launched at the last second.
Clock stops as the Braves trail by 11. Josh Sheridan in as a running back. Sampson claps, has it, looks to the near side, fires, has his man in Williams, rolls past the plane for a touchdown. As the rain begins to fall here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium, the Braves are starting to find the simmer.
I know EJ's been waiting a long time to score.
9 plays, 66 yards, 2 minutes and 45 seconds, capped off by a 6-yard touchdown pass to E.J. Williams.
They're going for 2.
Seems to be necessary in a game like this. Instead of making it a 4-point game, try to make it a 3-point game. Sheridan, the running back. Bunched receivers, 2 on the near side. A man in motion is Quay Threat. Sampson looks for Threat. Easy pass into the end zone. 2-point conversion, good.
That was a perfect play call. Perfect play call. Brought the man across in motion, across his face to the defenders. Nobody picked him up. Open in the flats. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Could not have been executed more perfectly.
Usually see routes like that go to like a fullback when they have an I formation. They'll bring him across the line of scrimmage. But that was great.
The umbrellas have come out now, and the rain is really falling.
And hopefully it'll lead to a Winston-Salem fumble.
That's all we can hope for. 2:52 remaining in this one, 34-31 in this rivalry matchup. Rams lead the all-time series 4-3. The Braves have won the last 2.
I really mad at rid of this Braves team right now. I mean, I know they let up some plays up in the first half and in the second half here in the waning minutes, but they've stayed in it this entire second half.
And I think optimistically that could go back to just the inexperience we discussed pregame, which is that they hadn't seen live talent at this level before. They hadn't seen opposing talent. Now that they got a feel for it, now that they went into halftime, composed themselves, reevaluated the game plan, it's really started to become a game for the Braves. They've outscored Winston-Salem State 31-14 in this half. This half has been all Braves. And we're going to have an onside kick. Williams is set. Crosses the 10, and it's caught by the Rams. Chris Sharper, the tight end, was able to fall on it, and that'll be field position galore for Winston-Salem State.
It was actually a well executed onside kick. The ball took the perfect hop you'd want an onside kick to take.
It goes up in the air at that 10-yard marker. That's exactly what you want.
That's what you want to see from onside kick. You just want to see your guys recover it, obviously. But
Winston-Salem just had a good second level of guys to get it after that bounce. That was
right guy at the right time.
Here's Rod Tinsley, as I mentioned, hasn't even attempted a pass in this quarter. We've got 3 minutes left in it. Carrying Moore, the running back, Andre Hodge in motion. The Eastern Illinois transfer as the give us to Moore finds a hole but gets met by the linebacking group.
They got to claw at that ball.
Albert Wright with the tackle as it's only a 1-yard gain. The Braves can keep it going. Rain is going to become a factor as this one progresses. Could be a botched handoff, misplayed pass. You never know. Clock continues to go. Braves are out of timeouts. Winston-Salem State has all 3 of theirs, but they're not going to use them. Tinsley under center. Hodge and Moore in the backfield. Lone receiver on the near side is Brown. The give is to Moore off the far sideline. Met by Colton Weeks and brought down at the line of scrimmage. Clock continues to tick. And this is the biggest third down of the game.
You really want to see this defense really go after that ball, try to punch the ball out, try to strip it, With the wet conditions now, you never know. Carrion Moore might have a loose grip on that ball right now.
Now this will be one of the most interesting play calls for Winston-Salem State as well. As I said, Rod Tinsley has not even attempted a pass this quarter. He hasn't completed a pass this half. But it's 3rd and 7.
Saying that, they can't do what they did at the end of the first half and get, sell out on the run completely and then have a lapse in coverage. So
it's a 4-man front incoming. They show the extra backer for blitz, and it's a give to Carrion Moore. Finds a hole, slips one defender, but he's brought down after only a 1-yard gain. T.Y. Hinton the stop. It's 4th down for the Rams. What are they going to do?
Would you risk punting it for a touchback, or should you go for it and then give them not really a short field, but, about the same equal distance as it would be if it was a touchback?
They're going to burn as much time as possible either way, and it'll give the Braves, at most, 40 seconds, I'd say, unless they call a timeout. Take it down.
Under 30.
Take it down to about 20 or so. There's the timeout.
Might they take the penalty to back them up a little bit, give more room for the punter?
They took the timeout instead, though.
Okay.
In the rain like this, I wouldn't even trust the punter.
Oh, I know, especially with that overhead snap.
Yeah.
Punter or long snapper.
As we mentioned, the long snapper, Chris Sharper, overhanded it earlier, ended up in the Braves' 2nd touchdown. Game started with the Rams putting up the first 3 scores, 3 straight touchdowns, as Andre Hodge is having an argument with one of the officials at midfield, interestingly enough. 3 straight touchdowns from the Rams, all in the first half. Braves went scoreless. After that, the Braves put up 2 touchdowns of their own. JoJo Spann, a 4-yard reception after an interception from Trayvon Gibson. Then Jordan Howard recovering a fumble on the botched punt. Carrying more for the Rams had a 1-yard touchdown run to cap off a 10-play, 65-yard drive, make it 27-13. Then a field goal from Nate Williams. Joe Leake, an 18-yard touchdown run after a 9-play, 57-yard drive. Carrying more could have taken the wind out of the sails of the Braves with a 59-yard touchdown run on the following play. And then E.J. Williams, the phenomenal 6-yard touchdown reception, followed by the 2-point conversion to Quay Threat as they're going to punt it away. Kevin Jacobs set for it. Has it. Little low as he goes down on a knee. It is short. Bounces first at the 24 and rolls out of bounds. Now what's happening here? What's going on here? They're saying it's Braves ball at the Rams' 44-yard line. They're potentially in field goal range, but we don't have much of an explanation up here right now. 27 seconds remaining. Oh, wow. When Kevin Jacobs received that ball, he was down on a knee.
Oh, wow.
He went down. A pass play to E.J. Williams, good for 5 yards. Braves out of timeouts. They don't have anything to work with. They'll need to spike the ball. 15 seconds left to go. Sampson under center. Has it, takes it, looking to pass. Over to the far side, has a man, it's underthrown. That'll stop the clock at 7 seconds. That took me a second to register, but that's what happened. Kevin Jacobs had a low snap from Chris Sharper. He was able to punt it away, and it went out of bounds. But none of that mattered, because when he received the snap, he was on his left knee.
Involuntary took a knee. Turnover on downs.
Incredible.
I've never seen that in football before.
Incredible. 7 seconds remaining. If there was even an attempt right now, it would be a 55-yard attempt from Nate Williams in the rain from the near hash.
I wouldn't risk that.
It's 3rd and 3 on the Rams 37. Sampson has it. Waist-high snap, steps up in the pocket, goes downfield, underthrown and nearly intercepted. JoJo Spann had a chance, but the Rams had a bigger chance in taking that one away.
It's better he didn't catch that, because he would have got tackled in the middle of the field. It would have been game over. At least now they have a snowball's chance to, one Hail Mary.
Guess who that was who almost had the interception? Pat Green.
He's back in the game again.
Back out on the field for the Rams, and
they're going to bring out the stretcher for this man next
with
time.
2 seconds left on 4th and 3, this is the Rams and the Braves' final chance. No field goals at this point. Last play. Miles Grant, the running back. Sampson has it. Low snap. Extra blocking. Pocket collapsing. Slings it deep downfield. It's well overthrown. Intercepted. Rams win. Nearly intercepted. Game over. 34-31 today's final, as the Braves came as close as they could. But the first half just turned to be their downfall. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the post-game show coming your way right here on the Braves Media Network.
The Esther G. Maynard Honors College at UNC Pembroke offers driven students an advanced learning community to live, learn, and grow together while on campus. Our scholars not only take specialized honors courses as part of their general curriculum, but also enjoy regular co-curricular events on and off campus with access to opportunities exclusive to Honors College members. Find out more about our Manor Honors College and our scholarships today.
The PBC is commitment.
The PBC is community.
The PBC is competition.
The PBC is character. We are the PBC.
Back in on the Braves Media Network, Matt Sabatis alongside Josh Reed, and a tough one as the rain starts to cover Grace P. Johnson Stadium. A fitting cap to a 34-31 loss at the hands of the Winston-Salem University Rams. Josh, the Braves made it close. There's got to be something to take from that.
You know, at the beginning of the game, we were talking about inexperience and young offensive linemen and young players all throughout the roster. Now, at the end of this game, I'm really talking about the resolve of this team right now. I mean, blowouts hurt, but close losses hurt even worse. You know you were this close, that far away, that one play away. You know, in this instance, the one play was that touchdown at the end of the first half. If it wasn't for that, I mean, really, they would have won this game.
So that's going to do it for us here on the Braves Media Network. We would stick around a little bit longer, but I think this rain might put a damper on
Yeah, I got to walk back to my dorm.
Yeah, for some of the folks that we have hanging out outside. So for the time being, we say thanks for joining us. Be sure to join us next week when the Braves travel to Elizabeth City to take on the Elizabeth City State University Vikings. 1 p.m. kickoff from Elizabeth City, September 9th, a week from Saturday. The Braves fall to 0-1 on the season. The Rams head up to 1-0 as they will head on to host Bowie State at 4 p.m. on September 9th. So for Josh Reed, for everybody else involved in this broadcast, I'd like to thank them, and we'd like to thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time right here on the Braves Media Network.